All right, I think that we are back. We may be here. Let me just reset a couple other things here. That may be it. I don't know if we disconnected. Hey, yeah, are we back? Are we back? Are we back? There we go. Fresh. Did we start a fresh stream? Okay, there we go. Let me save this. It's a little hard. It's always a little hard to reconnect on Streamlabs here. So, okay, we are back. It looks like we are back. I don't know if it started a fresh chat here or not. So I think it's attempted to reconnect here. Okay, I am back. Good. Okay, my internal chat is not rolling on Streamlabs. We are back. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. Let me scroll up a minute. Fresh stream. I actually reset. Once in a while, you should turn off the router and then restart it. Hello, spirits. Hello, Shelby. Missy, we're back. There you go. Coach, how you doing, Coach? Almost Uber. I'm not sure if it's a fresh stream or not, but I did have to reset things. So once again, I want to thank My World in OKC for her endeavors of going out there and hello Jewel and doing something wonderful and positive for the community in Oklahoma City. I think it's amazing to do something like that. Now, what I want to talk about now is no problem at all, Shelby. Hey, Beavis. What I want to talk about now before I get on to my discussion of security here, and you can pull your chair, you're too far away over there. My discussion about
the angle of the camera, you got to move the camera.
Yeah, well, I can only move it over so far. Okay. So okay, there we go. Yeah, we're going to stay on topic here. We're going to stay on topic. So once again, My World in OKC at yahoo.com. She's actually putting packages together for seniors in nursing homes, which I think is
do you know if we can move that light up a little bit?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get some light, Marshall.
Because it's hitting the eyes, it's like blinding.
Okay. So please give her some support on there and let her know, show her a little bit of love. I was happy to be a contributor myself on that. So now the next topic I want to discuss is things that I would never thought I would see in my lifetime. Okay, and this is how the world is changing. And I told you one of them. I told you one of them tonight, which is pretty amazing to me. We all know Coors beer,
right?
Out of Golden, Colorado. Do you know how many years they've been there?
A long time, right?
Take a guess how long they've been brewing beer.
100 years?
146 years.
Okay.
They've been in Golden, Colorado, brewing
Doesn't
beer.
it have to do something with the Rocky Mountain water?
Well, I think that they claim it's something to do with the Rocky Mountain water until the people actually went and visited Golden, and it didn't look like they were using fancy Rocky Mountain water to do that.
They're not.
They were using city water, and then they said, "Well, it's from Rocky snow, so it's clean and all that."
Okay.
It's clean and all that on there, but you know, Marshall, 146 years of being in Golden, Colorado. I remember on the East Coast in the 1970s, and how excited people were that Coors finally came to the East Coast because they really only distributed out in the West.
Oh, okay.
And then they had refrigerated rail cars that would start to transport to the East.
Out to the East.
And do you remember the cans, probably before your time, the cans of Coors had two little circles in the top.
Yeah, cursive. Like cursive, right? Red circles, weren't they?
Well, they had two pop-top things in the top. Yeah. One was a vent and the other was to drink out over there. And you had to pop the two little things to drink. Do you remember that? Anybody remember the original Coors had the two little pop? Hey Gina, had the two little pop tops in it, which is amazing to me. I mean, we thought that was the coolest thing when Coors people lined up to buy beer, and Baltimore was a big brewing town. A lot of Germans. You had National Beer, which is still around, American Beer, Gunther Beer, and Arrow Beer. You had four big breweries over there. Now, the thing I want to say about this is Coors is moving their headquarters. They're leaving Golden, Colorado after 146 years.
Wow.
They're leaving Golden,
Colorado.
Colorado. Guess where they're going?
Where?
My kind of town.
Chicago?
Chicago is. I was totally blown away that they would transfer
Their operations.
their not their operations, their headquarters. They're now going to be headquartered in Chicago. They're not
Were
going
they
to be
gonna brew- were they
headquartered.
gonna
They're
brew
still
the beer?
their brewery will still be there in Golden,
Oh,
but
okay.
they're moving their headquarters.
Their administration,
to
the executives.
the whole shooting match,
okay.
except for manufacturing. Over there, I'm really surprised, because Coors is such a legendary beer, and I think it probably broke the hearts of people because
Well-
when a corporation moves their headquarters,
People lose their
people
jobs.
worry. Well, they lose their jobs. 300 people will lose
Unless
their
they're
jobs.
willing to move.
But
To
where did their corporate donations start to be spent? Where were they spent before? In Golden, because they, when you're a
circulate,
CEO,
you're gonna
and
get a house there and
yeah,
everything.
exactly. You're the chairman of the board, and you have your board of directors.
Support the economy,
yeah,
local
you
economy.
support the local. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago and things like that. So
Salvation Army and
Lavender says eBay has the pictures of the old cans, and it absolutely astounds me. That's a lot of jobs and a lot of good paying jobs. So that's it for Draft Tour of Diva. I don't want you to bring that stuff over to my channel. I already made my statement about that today. D will do his own response video on that when he feels the time is right. It's not the kind of thing that I'm going to talk about on my channel. There's plenty of other people that will be talking about that. So that really surprised me on there that in actual fact that 146 years of corporate residency in Colorado will absolutely be coming to an end.
what's the reason they're moving?
Now, according to them, that it's too hard to find. The job market is too competitive in Colorado. They can't find the talent that they need at corporate. So they need to go to a place where the job market is a little bit tighter and they can get a quality of according to what I read.
From the corporate side.
Yeah, Northerner says that's like Molson pulling out of Quebec and setting up in Toronto. Exactly. I mean, could you imagine that? Could you imagine it? Marshall's drinking Mexican beer. Well, it's a good beer, Modelo.
It's really good beer.
The thing that surprised me when I went to Tijuana was how good the Tecate and the Tecate Light
that's a little bit too light.
Well, to me, it's okay. I like a light.
Modelo has a very nice character to it.
It is a historic event to move after 146 years. It would be like Wrigley saying, "We're moving our headquarters out of Chicago."
Or Hershey saying, "We're going to leave Hershey, Pennsylvania. We're going to go to
We're going to relocate to Baltimore or something." Then people would be like, they'd be burning down the gates of Hershey, to do something like that. So.
One thing
it really surprises me because the beer sales are down. Okay, they've gone from like 53% to 46% of alcohol sales. That doesn't seem like a huge number, but in reality, that's millions of barrels of beer and stuff. Less. Where are people turning to spirits, vodkas, whiskeys, that type of thing?
That's the
25
millennials.
years.
The millennials want mixed drinks and liquor. Yeah.
25 years ago, and Johnny Watt, I think we're probably about the same age. 25 years ago, liquor was all but going over the sunset. Okay, people weren't drinking the whiskey as much. They weren't drinking the vodkas and things like that. And I've noticed the total flip-flopping now. Things go in cycles.
Yeah, the millennials want the
millennials
mixed drinks. They don't want beer anymore.
They said they're leaving Golden because of the inability. The job market is too competitive out there And they're not able. They claim because of they're not able to get the talent that they need. Yeah,
What
Coors.
year was the beer revolution in
Yeah,
America?
D.
Where
Lynn
people
says Coors was illegal in some states. I believe it was states. He says we couldn't get it. I remember it was about 1975 or 76 that we were able to get Coors, and we thought it was an incredible day when Coors was available in stores, and the pricing wasn't even that bad. But it was almost a legend on the East Coast. Wow, we'd heard of Coors before, but to see it there was absolutely amazing. Yeah, it seems odd, Spanky, but it's the nature of the job market. Hello, Mike's Life. Nice to see
I
you.
think Coors Banquet. I had it with the chairman of the
Well,
board.
name the three Coors. You got the Banquet, which is top of the line.
That's a real good one. I
Yeah.
tried that in Toronto.
You have standard Coors, the flagship, the yellowish can. And then you have the Coors Light, which I think is an absolute winner in the marketplace. I love Coors Light, but it can't really hold a candle to me to the way that they brewed Michelob Ultra Light. Has 90% of the flavor of a full body, high calorie beer with about 80 calories per. And I think that is pretty amazing. Greg says, I like beers from other regions like Yingling and Lone Star. I feel the same way. I feel the same. Hey, Scott Clark. I went to Baltimore and all they talked about was Yingling beer, and I went to have dinner at an Italian restaurant with my dad, and we had the Yingling. It was a pretty good beer. I don't enjoy ales myself. I get together with J.K. NoCal, as I do periodically, try to once a year or so, or have him down here at parties and stuff. He's all about the ale, man. The IPA, the Lagunitas IPA. That's his big thing. The ales
So
and all
I
that.
believe the
I don't like
Coors.
ale. I just don't like ale.
I believe the Coors Banquet. They claim that they are using Rocky Mountain water for that. It does taste better than regular Coors. I've had it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah, you're right, Northerner.
well, my question to you about beer: the millennials right now, clearly, no question about it. You can get the trend. They love hip hop music. They don't like rock and roll oldies
Also,
anymore.
look at where the
They like
craft beer came. When I was in
the
college, our president of our university, his name was Father Joseph Sellinger. Okay.
right,
His brother was the master brewer at Schlitz. Okay, Schlitz Brewing Company.
right.
Okay. Guess what we were forced to have at every event? Now, at that time, the drinking age was 18. It wasn't
Oh,
21.
okay.
Guess what we had to have at every event?
Schlitz.
Schlitz. Kegs of Schlitz
Um,
coming in. I came to
no,
hate Schlitz beer, man.
Now I think what's going on with beer, you see a lot of these
No,
yuppie areas with the
craft
craft,
beer.
with cider beers and
Yeah,
that kind of stuff,
exactly.
flavored beers. That's what's going on. They're not drinking
All of
the.
a sudden, everybody started rebelling against big brew
Companies.
houses.
Right, right.
But the dirty little secret is? Do you know what the dirty little secret of a lot of these craft beers is? And we
So
went to the Fairfield Brewery of Budweiser. Guess what? A lot of these smaller brand name beers are brewed by Budweiser under private label for them.
oh,
We were down there. They were packaging a Chilean beer for export to Chile
I
for
see.
for the Chilean market that was under a Chilean name. There's quite a few craft beers that go under they'll private label them, the brewery, which makes sense. Why do you want to
Right,
invest in a brewery when you're starting up, when you can go to a company, a Budweiser factory, and say, hey, we just want to make 100,000 cases of this beer. Okay,
right,
that's a half a day's production or whatever. We can knock that out for you
right.
and make the money for that. Greg says, I hate IPAs but love brewery beers. Breweries here have blown up, and that's where millennials are hanging out. Yeah, our micro beer is really caught on, on that. So Foster's tastes and smells like peas.
There's
Foster's Lager is a pretty good beer. Now, I got to tell you, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Okay.
terrible beer. Terrible. That's the worst beer you can drink. It's like drinking acid.
Okay, let me tell you, Tammy's going to unsub my channel tonight, block me, and
Budweiser is terrible too.
Budweiser's not a terrible beer. Okay, now
Disgusting.
my world in OKC, Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Now, honey, I went to Milwaukee, and Marshall and I had the privilege of seeing the George Pabst house, Captain George
Yep,
Pabst,
yep.
an amazing looking place. We weren't springing for the ticket, but we got the outside.
That was pretty cool.
It
Yeah.
was a pretty cool
What was it to
place.
get in? We don't want to pay 20.
I'm not. I don't do museums. If I have to pay over $5 to go in, it's like
No.
I can't do it. I'm
That's what I
sorry.
like about Rosie is she's frugal like that.
I'm free. Like, look at the
Unless-
people in your life that Mr. X, frugal, Rosie, frugal.
One place I was worth to pay is the Ford Museum in Dearborn. I would pay. I don't care if it was $100.
Oh, the Ford
That
Museum was
cool.
outstanding. Good value. Good value.
Great
You're going to
value.
see it all in the Ford Museum,
Yeah.
including cops. You know, we got swatted at the Dearborn Museum up there. Yeah, my dad's dad drank elephant, and he would call it pachyderm piss. Yeah. Yes, Greg, I'm sorry. The Pabst Blue Ribbon, it came back big again, which really shocked me. If I had to pick one beer that would have gone over the horizon besides Schlitz, it would have been Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Do you ever dream of being attached from all material? Do you nothing but travel? Yes, I do. I don't feel like it weighs me down, Rubber Wilbur, because as Marshall will tell you, I'm not I'm not a person that acquires a lot of things in life. I have a very slimmed down life.
Very minimalist.
What you see over here is basically my passion, my pride and joy.
Right.
Over there, besides what's up there on the wall of amplitude. Other than that, I don't own a lot of stuff in life. I really don't. I've never been a person that cared about material things. I've never been a person that cared about money that much. It's good to have it. Hello, Melina. Sorry about your cactus. There's Dave Adventure. Sorry about last
Is that
night.
the real Dave?
Yeah, that's the real Dave. Your cactus reached out and grabbed me over there. Our prize beer, Newfoundland, is made from iceberg water, much like Coors Light, but is a little more crisp. I'm trying to shed material things. That's my goal for 2020 is to really get down to 10 receivers and basically sell down all of my other stuff. Now you know you got a Milwaukee's worst. My son bought me a camo silver ice. Now I remember though, in 2000 to 2010, Smirnoff Ice. Remember that? The Smirnoff Ice, you'd go into bars and things, and everybody
and the blue vodka bottles?
Well, everybody was drinking Smirnoff Ice.
Right.
It really began a wave of the sort of fruity
Mixed
vodka
drinks.
types of drinks that were pre-packaged and things. Thank you. Do you prefer high alcohol content in a brew? No, I don't, Mike. I generally don't like to go above 8% on a beer. 8% is high. I like the dark beers like Guinness Stout and things like that. Sonny Cal says San Diego is becoming famous for microbrews. Well, we have Russian River Brewery right here. We have Lagunitas IPA right down in Petaluma. Huge operation. They have the Russian River Brewing that puts out the Piney, the Elder, and
There's one beer that I had, Rosie.
Thank you, Sandy. I don't like fruity drinks. I remember wine coolers, Beavis, Bartles and James, and Annie Orchard. I can't remember what it was called. Bartles and James, and then they had some Apple Annie or some kind of crap. Yeah, Lagunitas is a very good beer.
There's one.
Lavender says we almost got killed head on by a drunk driver, so I don't allow anyone to drink in my home or around my kids or grandkids. But you know what we do? We don't have a yard house, Greg. You know what we do here? Lavender, we always made a promise when the boss, Janet, Bobby, and I, wherever we went, whether it was Las Vegas, anywhere local, if we were going to drink, we always took a taxi cab or we drank in the safety of home.
Okay.
We never got behind a wheel of a car and ever drove. Now, you might say the boss drinks like crazy, which he does. But you know who drives? Janet. Janet drives.
Okay, she's a little...
In the 11 years that I've known the boss and Janet, I've seen him drive one time. Okay, Janet drives. Janet's like driving Mr. Crazy behind the wheel over there. Rolling Rock and Henry's. Yeah, Rolling
One thing
Rock.
I wanted to point out, Rosie,
yeah, Mike's Hard Lemonade. Boone's Farm. Thank you, Sunny Cal. Boone's Farm.
Mike's Hard Lemonade
We did
is
have a blast with Lime Screw, yes.
Mike's Hard Lemonade is so good, but it's so sugary. All you
Yeah,
taste is the
I
sugar.
can't really do.
But one beer I wanted to mention to you,
Hey, Scottish.
I had it at Applebee's one time. It's called Weihenstephaner, and when I looked it up, it's the oldest brewery in the world from Bavaria. And I know you said you never had it, but it's so hard to find this beer. You got to go on their website, and it'll tell you on their website where you can get it from. I had it on draft at Applebee's, and it literally tastes like you're drinking bananas.
Yeah, well,
It's so good.
I
It's so
don't know.
smooth.
My daughter went to the Czech Republic and she said she had Budvar, and Budvar has been battling with Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch for decades over the legal Budvar, okay? Because Budweiser claims that Budweiser is their own name. Budvar says they ripped off the name and the recipe. They've been fighting. And she said the beer in the Czech Republic was incredible. I'm sure Lavender said it's life changing. It forever changed my family. Guy hit us going 100, and we were 5 minutes from my house. That's terrible. Sandy, we were the same way. We were drinking Boone's Farm. Missy says Rosie 180 vodka just came out with a KC barbecue flavor. Oh! I pitched a fit when we were at. Marshall wasn't with us the last time down. Were you at the last time at the Piranha Club? Maybe you were.
No, I wasn't. No, I didn't come to Vegas in 2018.
Yeah, but I don't think we went to the Piranha Club.
Where did you guys go? You guys went somewhere else?
I think maybe we went there, or maybe we didn't.
Know.
I don't think we did. But the last time we're down there, Vegas Vixen bought. We had bottle service there at the Piranha Club, which was pretty cool. You have your own venue there. And she ordered like a vanilla vodka, and I could have strangled. I could have strangled her. I don't want to taste just why I don't like vodka.
It was actually good. The flavored vodka is like orange and raspberry. It actually was pretty good. I think Grey Goose makes a great product.
Yeah, Marshall's drinking Modelo.
I'm just drinking Modelo. Yeah, that's all.
Normally he would drink Dos Equis beer, which I've never really been impressed with Dos Equis. It has sort of a panache of being, the most interesting man in the world.
No, it's very watery. This one has a character to it, right?
Modelo? Yeah, thank you, Johnny Watt. Mad Dog 2020 and Everclear, man.
What do you think about Modelo?
Modelo's good.
Yeah.
Modelo is good. I like Victoria beers, another one they brew down there. Pacifico is another one. Mexicans brew good beer. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I spent a lot of years in China. I hated Qingdao beer. Hated it. Okay. It's the flagship beer of China. Qingdao beer. You go to a Chinese restaurant, you can order a Qingdao beer.
What'd you hate about it?
Handsome Robert ordered one when we go eat Chinese.
What'd you hate about it, though?
It just wasn't a tasteful beer to me. And, the reason being is when Qingdao, there's a city called Qingdao in China.
Right.
And who came in to teach the Chinese brew? The Germans came in. Okay. Because in Shanghai you had a German section of the city, you had a French section of the city, you had an American section, and you had a British section. There's 4 quadrants of Shanghai, okay? And the Germans brought over their beer brewing technology to the Chinese.
Okay.
But I just never really liked the taste. But I went to Manila, and in Hong Kong they also had a beer called San Miguel beer, which is absolutely, hands down, the best beer I ever drank in my life.
In Manila?
Headquartered in the Philippines. It's an amazing San
Miguel
German
beer. Technology, or?
I don't know what the technology is.
Maybe Spanish, because
it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to me.
The Spanish conquered the Philippines, right?
Yeah, the Spanish did, but if you can ever find San Miguel in a store, my world, no kid. Rosie, I've never had real maple syrup, and after hearing you talk about a couple weeks ago, I had to order some, and it's the best taste ever. Well, this guy was really disappointed when the high fructose corn syrup.
Maple syrup is so good. You can put it in oatmeal. You can put it in your cereal. I put it in cereal. You can put it in your hot tea, pancakes. It's just good on everything.
You know how
you can even put it on chicken, barbecue
Liquor Warehouse has it. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael Rivera said.
And it's healthy for you too. It's good for you.
my question is, I grew up on like Aunt Jemima, right? And then Mrs. Butterworth came along. Okay.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure when I was younger if they were made from high fructose corn syrup or not. I don't know, but high fructose corn syrup came to dominate everything that was a sweet space
Right.
because of the corn. My world in OKC, I baked a cheesecake with maple, and it was absolutely amazing. A maple cheesecake. It was incredible. So it was amazing to me. I love the taste of maple, but it is so darn expensive. Who told me? Somebody did. I don't know. It was Scottish or somebody like that told me it takes 100 gallons of 10 gallons or something of maple syrup to make a gallon of 10 gallons of sap to make a gallon of maple syrup. That's a lot of trees to collect sap uh, from and
Yeah.
boil it down.
Yeah.
I remember the look of disappointment on Marshall's face when the generic brand of syrup hit the.
Well, she had the maple syrup. I wish she would have saved
I
it for
didn't even know.
pancakes
I didn't
instead of
even
putting it
know.
in the cinnamon rolls. That would have been nice. So maple syrup is good. It's expensive, you know?
It's very expensive.
Very
Very
expensive.
expensive.
But really, I tell you something.
Yeah, there's a meadery I'd like to go down on the way to Point Reyes Station with Marshall, and that's a place where they make liquor out of honey.
Oh,
Honeybees. Yeah, they make mead, wine, or whatever, or liquor out of. It's amazing what people will use. Yeah, I had a piece of maple and bacon. Yeah, maple and bacon. What
she had
a.
some maple syrup here. Rosie had it here, lavender. That
He
she,
thinks I had it hidden on
I think
purpose.
she hid it somewhere, so I couldn't get to it. But maple syrup is good. It is expensive, but it's worth the money. And I don't care. It could be $5, $6 a bottle for a smaller bottle, but it's much better than that garbage.
You know what blew me away? A is not. I believe A is not the best grade of maple syrup. I believe B grade is the higher grade of
Really?
maple syrup. Yeah,
Why? I thought A
and
is better.
somebody can verify that. You have A
The
and B.
darker one is the better one.
I don't know. I'm just
There's
saying
a
there's an
dark
A
one and a white
grade.
one, and the
There's an
one that's
A
darker tastes
grade.
better, whatever that is.
There's an A grade and a B grade, and I think I remember learning a little bit, and it surprised me. And hi, Ms. Pudwina. It surprised me that the B grade was seemed to be higher
When
priced.
I know there was a dark and a light one, and to me the darker one tastes better than the light one.
Okay,
There's
well, I
there,
don't. To me, it's something I never buy. I've bought one
it's
bottle in 50 years, so
oh it's
the lighter one is cleaner.
to me the darker one tastes better.
Yeah, Wyoming. It's crazy out there. All I needed was some Astroglide. Yeah, okay. All right, shit show. I get you out there. Now, let's get to our next topic before we get to the continuing topic of
Is there
home.
a talk of beer or football tonight?
No, no. We talked to beer, and the shocking news that Coors is moving their headquarters out of Golden, Colorado,
To Chicago.
to Chicago. Now, those of you who may have seen um, maybe you didn't. Sports Illustrated has its first real BBW that's
Oh
being
really?
featured
On Sports
this
Center?
year, and maybe somebody can find a link to that. It's called Curvy Swimsuit Model, and this is a big gal that's in there. And I thought it's really a sign of the times. And I thought that it was very liberating to women that,
Right.
because you're one that's a BBW, the BBW
Chaser.
chaser,
Yeah.
right? And, it kind of, I want to applaud that. And I really thought that that was outstanding of Sports Illustrated to show uh, the BBWs that are really beautiful women because things are changing. Okay,
I
Lavender.
think the millennials. No, the millennials. I don't think like BBWs. It's the older guys. I think the millennials are. They're vegans and they want to stay in shape. I think it's the older guys. The non-millennials that are into
Yeah, while
BBWs.
Marshall's talking, I'm going to see if I can find this link here. Let me see if I can find that link. I believe it
The
was
Sports
on.
Illustrated one.
No, it was on. Let's see. Yahoo. Let me see if this comes up. Yeah, there we go. Let me copy this link here. There it is.
Oh, she's
Copy.
Irish.
Yeah,
Hunter
she's.
McGrady.
You can see her. Let me see if I got that. Oh, here it is. Is doing an ode to Kirby here. Let me copy this one. And I thought this was pretty cool. I thought let me give you guys the. Let me post this link in here in the chat here. And here it is. Let me paste that. There it is, Yahoo. You click on that link, you can see the story there. And I thought, man, this is really cool. This is really cool that Sports Illustrated is stepping up and recognizing that we all don't have, 36, 20, 24, 36 or whatever sizes. So I thought that that was pretty amazing. You can oh no, Lavender, I'm on the list. You're still here, Elbow. You don't have to post your little period to see if you're still here or not. Just I'm trying to keep this a fun chat tonight. Yeah, she's pretty, and I'm really happy. You can see her in a swimsuit. She's a bigger gal. She's awesome, and I think that Sports Illustrated sets a trend a lot of times for life and things like
Right.
that. And I think for years, decades, centuries, women have been had a very tight role model of what beauty is, especially when it comes to body type.
Right.
Like in the 60s, it was Twiggy and the whole androgynous look. Well, it was that way in the 1920s too, with the flapper girl, that there was no bust line at all on
The
there.
corsets and
Yeah,
all
well,
that.
not the corsets were more like the voluptuous period up until about after World War One, I would say, and then the flapper girl came in, and but none of them were ever. I mean, they were voluptuous. Like in the 1950s, we had the Jane Mansfield, and we had the Jane Russells, and the ones that were bursting out of their
Right.
tops and stuff like that. And then in the 70s, it became kind of like in the 60s, the Twiggy and
Right.
the really super skinny.
Super skinny. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let me show this person. Let me put this person out. Thank you. You're gone. Sorry. Fat girls are like rev fun until. So I had to really hand it to. Sports Illustrated for the recognition that beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder. And we're going to say goodnight to Shit Show too. Have a good one, my friend. That one's gone too. And let's see on there.
Where's your mods at tonight? I don't see
Yeah,
anything.
I have Jen
Oh,
is in
Jen's
here.
in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jen is she's in there. She's doing a good job. Doing a
Okay.
good job. Hey Tim, how you doing tonight? Nice to see you. Okay, so I really thought that that was outstanding on the part of Sports Illustrated, the recognition, because I told you before the thing I noticed, and I'm no problem, Jen. The thing I noticed is at my age, I've seen a lot of things over the years. I've lived in 8 different decades. That's a phenomenal number of decades to have lived in. And I can tell you what, men to me today look like the same size they've always been. It's the women that have gotten much larger in stature, particularly over the last generation
Right.
or so. So I challenge Marshall to a drink off. Winner buys the booze. I don't know. What were you talking about? Challenging your uncle's record of Heineken?
My uncle Simon, he loves Heineken, and he went to an Assyrian party before with a singer named Janan Sawa. He's a famous Assyrian singer. My uncle loved that guy. It's his favorite singer, and he had 28 bottles of Heineken in one night. Now, isn't there two kinds of Heineken?
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know if I believe that story or it's like a urban legend within
my
the.
uncle is a big time drinker. He can drink. My uncle Simon.
Well,
He had
I don't know.
28. Yeah, he wouldn't lie. He had 28 bottles of Heineken. He could, and I don't think anybody here on YouTube can match that.
Yeah, there we go. There we go, Tammy. For me, I don't know. My uncle was a huge drinker. He could drink a 24 pack in a day up here. And God love him, he died in his easy chair watching the Ravens football game. My aunt came in and, well, Jimmy passed away. Okay, well, he went with his boots on, doing exactly what he liked doing right
You know
there.
what hangout we should do one day, Rosie?
What?
We should make us some finger food and put on a Baltimore Ravens game.
I'm
And you
running a
can,
Blockfest waffles because I run my channel the way I want. I'm not going to have trolls in here. There's plenty of other channels where they can go onto and talk their nonsense in here.
and we can
People come
become.
people come here for a different kind of chat, and they're having a good time. So I guess that would be the short answer. How you doing, Jessica, Jennifer? Nice to see you. Every stream host has the right to run their streams the way that they want them. And hallmark of mine is being drama-free places where we talk about fun subjects. There's plenty other streams that can talk about drama and all that. I think I'm gonna have one. I think I'm gonna have one beer here. I was showing that
Yeah.
beautiful thing that Mr. Z's
Oh,
wife put together there.
yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Cool, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think Rosie likes football and everything. She should do like
But I don't watch it on TV, right?
a football hangout where she's watching on TV, has
I
her
don't
beer.
watch
She,
on TV.
you
Right?
know, you should watch the
Remember,
highlights.
we don't watch TV. Yeah, I just get the highlight reel and
She
I
doesn't
do
watch
that.
TV, yeah.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it, Blue. Thank you. Yeah, my house, my rules. Exactly. I don't need to be in the morning news on thing. All this talk of beer made me thirsty. Jessica, did you see that link? I'm canceling my subscription to Sports Illustrated. But Jessica, Jennifer, you're purported to be a beautiful woman out there in the great state of New Mexico. Do you find it do you find it thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. Michael Rivera, $5 on the super chat. Thank you very much, Michael. There we go.
Johnny Watt had a
Right.
question for me.
Well said, Rosie. Playful banter.
There we go. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right.
Johnny Watt had a question for me up there.
Yeah. What's the question?
If you could scroll up real quick.
Okay.
You can
I
read
was
it.
in the middle of it. I'll get back to Jessica,
Oh,
Jennifer. She's like my touchstone of things.
Yeah, I just wanted to answer because you
Elvis, what's the largest plus size gal you've been with?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you the largest girl I've been with is my ex-black girlfriend. Her name was Kiana, and I was about 21. She was about 19, and she's probably about 5'7", 5'8", probably about 240 pounds. Solid big girl, and she had these beautiful micro braids in her hair and nice full lips. And there's nothing like kissing a beautiful
Yeah,
black
you need
woman's
to,
lips,
Waffles.
full
You need to
lips.
make a video. You need to use
And-
the camera to make a video. I sent you
And
5 years, 4
and
years.
she
ago.
had the most beautiful teeth, smile, just the beautiful full lips, and then the teeth. And black women are beautiful so much in their own way. They're unique. Like I said, they got the flawless skin and the micro braids and the full lips and the beautiful white teeth. And she was part Native American, but yeah, her name was.
You know, they had a saying in China when it came to beauty and skin, and especially Asian.
Right.
And I don't particularly subscribe to this, but it was something I heard in Hong Kong
Right.
and in Korea a lot. And the saying was, Asians don't raisin and blacks don't crack. Think about that.
There's something about
there's
their
something
skin.
about their genetic
But
makeup.
black people, if you could
Yeah, I
put
could
them
be. I might be
same
buffering
age.
again.
Oh, you might be buffering. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've had a little bit of problem here with the.
With the modem, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have anything on out there, do you?
No,
Okay.
nothing. My thing is,
You need a headband with girls that big. Help with the sweat. Yeah, there we go. But I guess you can still hear me on here. I may be buffering a little bit here on the side. But let me ask you this, Jessica Jennifer. Do you feel like yeah? Thank you. Yes. Let me get this one out of here.
There's the
Yeah,
imposter.
I don't
There
care.
it is.
You know, doesn't bother me any.
Well,
There we
there
go.
you go.
I've used it on the channel. They're gone. Yeah, buffering a little bit. Yeah, just let me know if it stops. Buffering. Oh, you went. Yes, you started buffering when you looked up Sports Illustrated. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight. Let's see. We'll see if it cleans itself up any in here.
Just hit the
Let's see.
refresh button and see what
Well, I
happens.
think the refresh button will be the same
Yeah.
thing. I don't think it's going to refresh on here. I think
You
we
got a
have.
lot of boxes open down there on
Do
your
I?
screen. Yeah, you got
Where?
a bunch of stuff
Where do I have
on your
mine?
browser, your Chrome browser. You got
No,
all
my
that stuff.
crown.
All
Oh, I
that.
do.
Yeah, you
Okay,
got all
wait a
that
minute.
stuff. You
All
just
right,
close
hold
all
on
that
a
out.
minute. All right, hold on a minute. Let me see what I got here. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Exactly.
I don't need that. And okay, I shut this off.
You don't need the one.
No, I didn't get it, girly girl. I didn't get it yet. Okay.
Also, that browser you don't need.
Yeah,
The
which
Google.
one?
The Google to the right.
Yeah, let me close that. But
You got all that
this
stuff open.
browser shouldn't be using a lot of bandwidth on
I don't know if you
here.
got Firefox or Explorer open.
Okay, so let's see.
If you have other browsers, that'll
Yeah, let me see what's going on here. Okay, yeah, it went offline.
Oh, it did?
So okay, I don't know what's going on tonight with it. No, that was last night's stream. It was open. Let me see if I can reconnect here. Let's see, that's not the one. Let's close that. Yeah, I got a lot of browsers.
You got a lot of browsers in this.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
You should close all those out.
Yeah, I got to find myself live on here. Feature live stream now. Okay, I think I'm still. Let me see if I'm. Yeah, I'm still in here. Okay, let me see. Oh, I'm better now. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, with all that stuff, it's
Thank
bringing
you.
your CPU
Yeah, okay,
processor
it's bringing
down.
my processor down. Okay, it's better now. That's good.
You
Okay.
might have stuff open on your other browsers too.
I don't have any. I don't ever use another. I don't ever use another browser here. I never use Firefox, and I never.
You had about
use,
7 or 8 boxes open.
Yeah. No, Carlos, I'm not. I'm talking about my subject matter tonight. Well, I was going to ask Jessica Jennifer about this. How she feels about. Did she feel like Sports Illustrated? Did she feel like Sports Illustrated is doing a service to women by showcasing, a BBW, or do you think that Sports Illustrated should just toe the line of the most classically beautiful women that you can have on in a magazine? I'm interested in her answer to that. Yeah, I'm just interested in what she's going to say about that. No, Carlos, the answer is no. So I'm just interested because Jessica Jennifer is very plugged in. I think she's very fashionable based on the comments she's made and some of the gear that she's acquired. I just want to feel like I just want to ask her that question. If she feels like Sports Illustrated is doing the right thing, or do you think that they should always be towing the line and having the most, exquisitely proportioned women showcased in Sports Illustrated? Yeah, go check that. I think I still have that link here. Let me put this thing in here. Yeah, there it is, right below you. I'm reposting a link in there. Okay, there's the link. Yeah, I'm staying on topic tonight. You look younger after cleaning up the net connection. Thank you, Frankie. I appreciate that. But Jessica Jennifer's like a young hip chick in there. So.
What was the question for her again, Rosie?
Yeah, but do you think, given this gal, and you saw a glimpse over there,
Okay.
is that a healthy trend for America for women? And my
Why is the
answer,
question only being posed to Jessica Jennifer? I don't
well,
understand.
because
Instead of
I
the whole
think that
audience.
well, I will pose it to the whole audience, but I think
Well,
based on what you said, she is into the fashion world a lot. Okay, that's why I asked Jessica Jennifer.
okay.
She's very plugged in to the fashion world. She's very young, also. Okay,
Okay.
she's a very young gal, so I was just curious. Missy says I think the variety is good, just like Barbie finally added different sizes about that. But live, you can be in shape and not be a size. That's what I was saying. You can find beauty, and you can find a beauty in a lot of different things. And I think it was very groundbreaking for Sports Illustrated. I mean, yeah, I don't know when a woman is considered BBW. What weight? I don't know. I don't know what the BMI would be, but I just find it very fascinating that Sports Illustrated chose to go out and cover this, and she's a beautiful gal. She's a good-looking woman. Would you say Irish gal?
Right.
Hey, MB, a big hug from Solden. About 35 inches of snow. Can you imagine? Hey,
I
John.
got a question for
That's a
MB.
that's a yardstick. That's 3 feet of snow, and
I got
it's
a
not even. It's early November.
I got a question for
Where are
MB.
you? The South Pole, MB, or the North Pole?
I got a quick question for MB. Actually, I'm glad she dropped in. MB never comes to my chat, but I'm glad that she came in here. I have one question for you. I was trying to reach Amanda May tonight to see how she's doing, and there was a voicemail left. Just curious, have you talked to Amanda May? Is she doing okay? Or has anybody else talked to her? I'm just curious. Because that one person that was really close to Amanda May over the years. Is she okay? What's going on in her life? Have you talked to her?
Yeah, I don't
So
know. Oh, you're in Austria. That would explain it. Okay,
she's in Austria. Where do you think
Austria.
she was at? She is in Austria, I think.
Yeah,
I
MB
thought she
is
was in
is
Germany, but
visiting Austria, I
but
think.
she's from Germany, isn't she?
Scott says it's snowing here right now in
What
Ontario.
country does
Wow.
she live in? MB.
She normally lives in Belgium.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so she's
Belgium, yeah.
over in, she must be near
Austria.
the Alps over there in Austria. Even though their plastic Kardashians have a bit to do with young men being attracted to plus size. Northerner, that's an excellent statement. That is really a smart statement that I think the Kardashians helped to kind of redefine. Actually, I'm not sure about Khloe Kardashian. Used to be a kind of a plus size gal, and then she slimmed down a lot. Um, we know Kim Kardashian is a big one. I'm sure she had some work done on her butt. I'm positive about that. And then you have her sister. You have Khloe Kardashian, and you have Courtney. And Courtney seems to be sort of the most petite one on there. So, what do you want for Christmas? Anything special?
Um,
Let me see what Jennifer. Wait a minute, Rosie. I think it's a bit of a slippery slope. You don't want a model that's. Let me see. I want to hear what she. I want to see what she says. You don't want a model that's underweight. However, overweight is no bueno either. Ashley is fine, but look up Tess Holiday. Okay, maybe somebody can post a picture on that, and I think that would be pretty cool. And yeah, so there we go. You were gonna say something on there.
yeah, I said over the years, because my birthday is really close to Christmas, so I remember that um, one of my family or dad or somebody would buy me something for my birthday. They would say this covers Christmas and your birthday at the same time because they're both close.
Oh,
But one thing I got
jeez.
to tell you that I think that I probably want to get for Black Friday. Hey, that's my Christmas right now is Black
Hey Tim,
Friday.
yeah, that's a fakie, but it looks
Uh,
pretty good.
I think I'm gonna get me a better cell phone with see if I can get a better cell phone,
Hey
a better camera for
Pam. Pam
YouTube.
says hello, my beautiful Rosie and Elvis. There's Pam. Shoot your shit. Nice to see you, honey.
What's up, Pam?
Hope you and Ricky are doing well. We're talking about plus size tonight and how there's a lot of swirl around Sports Illustrated now, featuring featuring plus size, really curvy plus size woman in there, which I think it's to their benefit. I think it's Good, but I can understand what Jessica Jennifer says. You don't want to glorify a health risk either of being,
It's
you know.
weight is all based upon your genetics. It has nothing to do with
Well, I
health
think
or
it has to do with
exercise.
activity.
It's all
Uh,
genetics.
yeah,
Everybody is predisposed genetically to be a certain weight. It's all in the genetics.
yeah, yeah.
There's
That's the way.
people that are
That's
just naturally big and people that are just naturally small.
what kind of phone do you want?
Well, I want a phone that will be able to pick up low level light like Rosie's and that will have good image stabilization. Something that hopefully something that's maybe something news out there. I don't know. I just know that there's a big difference in the cameras on these phones as far as stabilization and low level light,
Okay.
especially when you're making nighttime videos and chooching and stuff like that. It'd be nicer to have a better camera. But
Well, I think to me, since I do a lot of nighttime chooching, and I will be doing so again when I'm on the road, low light, you do your best cinematography at nighttime. It's not in the daytime,
it's a
it's at
nighttime
nighttime.
with the
Why?
lights.
Because when the lights go down, you don't have to worry about the sun angle. Oh man, I mean, how many times
That's
would it
right.
be like, oh, we can't stand here. We're shooting into this,
Right. So
oh,
sun
the
exact.
light's so harsh right now, you can't see anything. But man, when you chooch at night and the lights are down, and if you're in a place like Tijuana, you've got like one of the most incredible cities in the world. I put
Right.
Hong Kong on a par with that, New York City. To some extent, Chicago, but Chicago doesn't have the neon light show that, say, Tokyo and Hong Kong and Tijuana have,
Right.
yeah. Michael said Chloe was perfect before operations. I'm not sure, Susie. I think I got it for $700 on a trade-in of something very ironic. We were in Detroit. Okay, now I'd hit a curb very hard coming in the mist, the rain, and my headlights aren't really bright. And we had some guy that was following us around in Detroit. And I pulled into a Burger King, and it was my first night in Detroit. I could hardly understand the road system, how to make a left-hand turn. They have a weird way of doing it. And I ended up hitting a curb, and I destroyed the tire. So we overnighted outside of the tire shop. And the next day in the morning, I'm getting up. They've told me that they can fix it, blah, blah, blah. And I had my cell phone. Now I've had it already for 14 months at this point. My Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Never had a problem with it. Had a case on it. And Marshall comes out of the tire shop and he says, Rosie, you're gonna ruin your phone's gonna fall one day and it's going to hit the ground and it's going to shatter. And I'm like, Marshall, I've had this phone for 14 months. I've been through
Right.
battles with this phone. I've ghetto. I had a guy pinch me in Oakland, a Cambodian guy pinch me between the wall and his car, chooching. Dropped the camera down and the guy almost rolled. I mean, this thing's been through hell. Not 5 minutes later, my phone slips off of the trash can that it's sitting on and smashes the glass on. Hence, I always listen to Marshall now when it comes to, and
I
I've got
don't.
a good, I've got a good,
I
I
don't
got a
think.
good
I don't
case.
think you've learned your lesson because the case
This
that
is a
you
good,
have
this
now.
is a spec case. This is a Defender case here.
Is it? It
Okay.
doesn't look like one.
Well, it is. Pam, thank you very much. 49.99 on the super chat because I love my Rosie. But you know what? I love my Pam. There it is.
Because I love my Rosie. Heart.
Yay. Hard heart. Thank you, sweetie. Pam, let's give her a big woo. Thank you, Pam. She's wonderful. And I think one of the greatest joys was being on her Patreon chat on Monday night. I mean, it was off the hook, and it was like theater in the ground. You have a very small group of people, relatively. I mean, they used to put 500 people in a chat. So being in a small Patreon chat made you feel like you were like in a small theater in the round. It was amazing. Like you had exclusive seating. in there, and it made for a very interesting evening. So take care, J.A. Thank you. My brother wants to know, Marshall, where do you buy those cool high collar shirts like Presley wore in Chicago?
You can buy them off eBay. There's a guy in Las Vegas. His name is Viva Vegas 777. He sells them on eBay. The name is Viva Vegas 777. Or there's also a company. There's a company called B&K Enterprises. They actually were the ones who designed the original suits and stuff for Elvis. But they're quite expensive there. But that's the original stuff that you can get. It's the best stuff, but it costs the most money. It's called B&K Enterprises. There's also a company in United Kingdom on eBay that sells. But you got to type in the keyword as Elvis puffy shirts.
Yeah, Mike says, it's definitely different, Pam, but it's so fun. You have people in there that absolutely adore you in that chat. Do I miss the wide open chats? Of course I do, but I'm just saying there was something special about being able to pay my measly tiny monthly thing to be a Patreon member. Just made it absolutely amazing. Mike says Rosie Street Life. Who I like Street Life wants to license Marshall's image and make Boyd merch. Would he be into that?
Nah, I don't. I can make my own merch if I want. People are already, you kind of think and you wonder here all the stuff that's out there on me. I've heard people saying they've already made merchandise and people are making money off of it, and I don't know if it's true or not. But one quick question I wanted to ask you, Rosie, with Pam here. I know you're a Patreon member, right?
Yes.
What is their Patreon show about? What is it that
It's a comedy that was the classic stuff. It's like going back to their roots of being on
Is it
the
a live
porch.
show?
Yeah, it's a live show.
Okay.
And they just play off of each other, and they're not tied into the drama anymore, so it kind of freed them
Okay.
to go back to their really funny stuff that they do. And I'll tell you, Pam was dressed like a bootlegger's girlfriend
Okay.
the other night. It was great. What happened to Tony Abbott? Well, Tony Abbott has commented on my channel. He has requested to be unblocked on Marshall's channel. So Marshall will have to look into that. You should sell plastic mics so we can sing along. I think it should be shaped like a plastic bottle.
I think the best thing to sell is T-shirts because people could wear your T-shirt out in public and really get your name out. I think people make bumper stickers, but I think probably the best thing to sell is T-shirts.
Yeah, Tim says, how's your mom doing? Any updates? I think you were trying to find a better way to visually connect.
Yeah, I talked to my mom. She's okay. I was trying to send her a cell phone that I have to her nursing home so I can at least talk to her on video chat.
Yeah.
They don't have camera capabilities there, but I've been talking to her and she's okay. And you know, it's tough being away from her for this long and being at her on the road. And I got to cherish every time with her because you don't know how much time they have left.
Well, I think it's a good idea if you can put FaceTime in onto a phone or something like that. You could have that type of. It's an easy app to use.
Right.
FaceTime, if somebody can work it on that end, I think.
FaceTime is just for iPhones.
Whatever the thing is, I'm
Facebook
sure Android has
Tango or Skype or Android something. But
Scott says, Rosie Marshall, who are your favorite comedians? Who are your favorites?
Oh, stand-up comedians?
Well, just in general in life.
Well, I didn't grow up with George Carlin, but I think he's pretty good. George Carlin. There's some comedians out there. I don't know. There's Kevin Hart. He's good, and I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a lot of good ones out there, but there's an Indian guy on YouTube. I don't know the names. I've seen them recently.
Yeah, I like Jeff Dunham with his puppets is hilarious. I like the classic Rodney Dangerfield. I go all the way back to the greatest movie that ever brought every the only movie that ever brought every great comedian together at that time was It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. And that had just everybody on it from Sid Caesar to, man, Phil Silvers. And it was a great, 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 great movie. Dave Chappelle is good. Carlin was good. Yeah, Jeff is just hilarious. Hey, Jill, how you doing, baby
I
doll?
think Steve Harvey can be funny sometimes. Steve
I
Harvey's
thought
pretty good.
Don Rickles and his. If you ever see the old Dean Martin roasts that they had in the 1970s, they're hilarious. And there was a comedian called Foster Brooks who played a drunk guy. Okay, he played a drunk, and when you see him on Don Rickles roast one night, this guy is absolutely hilarious. Foster Brooks, yeah, Richard Pryor was good. Thank you, Pam.
Let's give her a big woo.
Let's give Pam a big
Everybody.
woo. Yeah, shoot the shit. And if you enjoy their comedy, thank you, Pam. Love you. Make sure that you sign up to be a Patreon member of them and grow that community. I'd like to see somebody that goes live have a real Patreon following because there's absolutely no distractions to
I
the
think
comedy and
Pam,
stuff.
and what's the guy's name or brother's name?
Yeah, there we go.
Rick is.
Tammy, Ricky. Yeah,
I think they're pretty funny. I've watched their stuff. I think they're
yeah.
pretty funny. Pam
Under
and
the big W. Remember that Scott Clark and Spencer Tracy? I think that was his last movie. No, I guess his last movie was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I don't know, with Katharine Hepburn. Let's see. Let me see up here. Shout out to Spanky Ham renamed that channel. Yeah, the movie was great. Rosie could have coffee mugs. They Rosie on one side, sponsored by Tim Hortons on the other. Tim Hortons would flip a wig, man, if they knew I was so hot for their. I like their coffee. Well, I like the old elbow when he was getting angry and using bad words. But in my opinion, I like this. I never change anybody, and I will say this: people that you'll have some people toting out the line that it's a reform. The reform highway, the redemption road, which is total BS now. I've learned in this point in life, you're not going to change anybody in life. All you can do is do your best and hope for the best, and that's
I
it.
think my answer to Mr. Elbow down there is that
Oh,
there's a
I don't split money with
there's a
Marshall on that.
time on YouTube, what we call the maturity level on YouTube. Now,
Yeah.
it's not about changing a person. I think it's about uh, when you got an AdSense monetized account, you got to follow the rules. And if you follow the rules, you keep your AdSense. And if you don't follow the rules, they take it away. Adult content cannot be monetized on YouTube for the most part. So
All right.
either, you know,
Susie said, "Will you please tell some people who are liars that you do not split stream money with Marshall?" This is one of the trends that you'll see, especially if you don't play back. If somebody's making drama or making content on your back, which they specifically do a lot of Marshall and I, and you don't hit the ball back over the net. People have to find other ways to be influencers, negative influencers, and I've noticed that you'll have a step up in people with no proof at all. And one person in particular that's been a consistent hater of Marshall for several years, not of which is unfounded back in the day, but I'm saying they think nothing of making the quantum leap and putting an outright lie to people to do anything that they possibly can to forestall people from supporting you. So that's just the times that we live in, that people will, a certain very small percentage of people will step it up to a lie level to try to influence people. It's sad. It's sad. I like to have a positive chat and have a lot of fun and not be involved in nonsense like that. And people that know me, they know me for years. They know my content. They know the positive way that I am. They know I'd never host drama on my channel. I may create and have things on my channel that bring attention, travels, and other things. There may be things happen in my life like last night. It was totally off the chain for me. Was it created? No. Did it happen? Yes. Okay? That's drama I can't control that occurs. But I'm saying, as far as sitting there and every night being a being a derivative person, not a content creator, but a person that reflects upon content that's being created, which is fine. Which is you need that on YouTube, and everybody can have fun doing their own thing. But expect to be second guessed, expect to be, but the choice I have made is continue in a positive direction, continue bringing the content that I've brought for years here, and never be a channel that hosts drama talks and things like. I have too many fun things to talk about. I have too many people that show up on my channel that like to escape that kind of stuff, and I don't have to drag that kind of thing in to get numbers.
One thing I want to say about the incident
Thank you, Susie.
about the incident last night, I want to say one thing. For those people who are saying it's fake, I've been watching Rosie.
Yeah, well, that's what I said, Greg. I didn't call it unfounded. I called it, at one time, it was very founded. But I'm saying I'm a person that moves forward in life. Whoa!
Thank you, Pam. Let's give Pam a big
For Marshall, heart, because he thinks I'm funny, smiley face, heart.
Now there's something I'll have to give
حبي
to.
وإيقاري قاتخ Pam. Pam, Malikta Pam. Hey, Malikta is queen in the Syrian, so let's call her Malikta Pam. Let's give her a big woo. All hail to the queen.
I wish you hadn't posted that. I would have gotten that one. He'll hold me to that one too.
Hey,
he'll be later like Johnny on the spot.
I gotta say this.
Jeez.
Blue waffles, you gotta learn to love it, brother, because the queen of comedy at the bottom of YouTube, Pam and Ricky, just lit it up for Rosie and the king of the free world.
Well, they're special
Thank you very much. Very kind of you, and God bless you. And let's give Pam, the queen of comedy, a big woo.
There she is. Thank you, Pam. And I just, one of my bucket lists for 2020 is to be on the porch with Pam and Ricky and be in a show. They had one of my moderators, one classy redhead.
I'm gonna give you another beer.
Okay, I click on the link one night, and there's one classy redhead on the porch. I'm like, what the? And I was like, unbelievable. There's one classy redhead, one of my moderators on there that is on the porch. And I want to be that person. I want to be on the porch down there. I want to be between those two and giving Charlie a big old hug. That's what I would love to do. Now, before we're going to get on to the main event, now here, let me just see. Yeah, it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen because I'm coming on down. Because I got family down in Maggie Valley and Pigeon Forge and down in Asheville, North Carolina, that whole area over there. I would like to also say, if anybody would like to be a moderator, and it would be a very select people on here, and I would flip a coin. I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. I don't run with a lot of moderators here. I know some people are over to another chat tonight, and that's fine. I never tell my moderators where to go or to don't go. But if you're interested in doing that, my inclination is if My World in OKC or Scottish Saren wants to stand up to that and join my moderator corps, just send me a Gmail at icanmakeitLikeNew@gmail.com. And it would be nice to add a little bit. These are people, Scottish Saren and Tammy, My World in OKC, that have had my back consistently and are very strong supporters of the direction of the channel and the things that I'm doing on the channel. And like so many people on my channel, they're so able to look through the veil of nonsense that descends down on YouTube so much of the time, and to see through, they're deep level thinkers. They're not led by events. They think things. They think things through, and I really like that. Yeah. So. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so just let me know, you and Scottish Saren, if you would just drop me a line if you two gals want to be. No, I'm looking for a couple permies, here to do that, because you guys are very strong supporters of the channel, and you understand, yeah, the positive stuff. It may not be good for the short haul, but it sure bears fruit in the on the long run here. So if you guys want to drop me a line, that would be great. I don't want to stick in any wrench in anybody's hand, but I noticed certain people in my chat and certain people that have gone, have gone to other chats more, and that's fine. Waffle says it is true that Jen is moving back home after the 1st of January. Not to my knowledge, Blue, but you've got to understand this. Missy Jen is family to me, okay? As family member, as any family sister or anybody would say. At the end of the day, I want Missy Jen to be happy. If Missy Jen's happy here on the rancho, which she has been for over 5 years now, she can stay here as long as she likes, okay? You all know her mother passed away last year. She has she has things I'm not going to discuss in Germany. She has family there. She will decide in due time what's right for her for the time being. And at least for the next half a year and beyond, maybe forever, you can expect to see Missy Jen on the rancho. Okay?
I wanted to say a couple things, Rosie, real quick.
She doesn't make a high-profile presence, but Marshall knows she's a significant figure here on the rancho.
I wanted to say a couple things real quick. Pam, if you're still watching, thank you again. But Pam, I want to say one thing.
Hey, Monique, how you doing, baby doll?
I want to say real quick, Pam, that I like your car.
No, Missy Jen and I are not married, no.
I think you got a BMW 7 Series with the sunroof, and it looks so nice when I see you guys riding down the road. Just wondering what kind of car you had. Was it a BMW 7 Series? And the second thing I wanted to say is about when people are talking about that the incident last night was fake. I've been watching.
We're not there yet. We're not on the security thing and all that.
No, I just wanted to mention.
I
just wanted to make the quick point that
you don't have to type in all caps, Tim Jones. Okay, go ahead,
that
Marshall.
people who say people who say that it was fake. I've been watching Rosie since 2014, ever since Missy Jen moved here, basically. And tell me, when have you ever seen Missy Jen wake up out of her sleep in the middle of Rosie's bikini bacon hangout at 1 a.m, wake up out of her sleep and grab her gun and get out and get ready to go? When have you guys ever seen that? I've never seen that.
Alert, awake.
So ask yourselves a question for those that are doubting and saying that this is a made-up event. When have you guys ever seen? I've never seen Missy Jen wake up, and in 30 seconds she was locked and loaded and she was ready for action. And you know something?
She wasn't telling you. Call the cops. Neither she nor I was telling you, let's call the cops.
If that doesn't add to the realism of what happened last night, then I don't know what will. Because when
Yeah,
Missy
I
Jen
hear
heard
you,
what was going
Cheryl.
on, she
Yeah.
was up, and she was brave and had the courage and is trained and ready. And I got the utmost respect for her because she was here to defend her life, our lives, the property. And you know something? That's never happened on Rosie's channel. And if that doesn't add to the realism of what happened, then I don't know what will. For those of you guys that are saying that it's fake.
Yeah, let me
That's what I
answer.
want to say.
Brandon asked, "Will you take care of? Will you take care of Bobby?" Bobby has immediate family in the area. He is well taken care of and well loved by his family. You need not ever worry about Bobby. You will see Bobby on Friday. He will be here for the fish feed and all that here. You can go back and look at the videos. I have a special playlist about Missy Jen, Tim Jones. You can see all of my first trip out to Missouri in October of 2013. My second trip in December, and then in March of 2014, our journey to bring Missy Jen to California, our epic journey through snow, sandstorms, blizzard in the Sierras to get Missy Jen to the rancho. Yeah, there's no point. There's no point to that. Things happen real time. People saw it. You can't make a light click on. All parties of us are here. Missy Jen's in her bed. Marshall's in the kitchen with me, and I'm there. So yeah, I don't ever entertain nonsense like that because I have one guiding rule: to a person with a hammer, everything is going to look like a nail. In other words, people that oppose Marshall, people that oppose me, for the most part, there's nothing we can do or say is ever going to change their opinion about things. So the choice is you either move forward in life and do the things that you want to do and enjoy and make YouTube a fun experience, or you can sit there and become a sour person and just spin up the drama and all. I don't choose to do that. No, Missy Jen doesn't have any children. No, she doesn't. Please stay safe. Yeah, well, we had an encounter last night. A raccoon would not have set off my lights. My sensors aim much higher than that. Let's see. Wendy Johnson, don't worry about nothing, ma'am. Real, recognize real, and you're definitely real. Thank you very much, Wendy Johnson. Let's give her a big woo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, honey. I appreciate that. There it is.
And Rosie, don't worry about nothing, ma'am. Real, recognize real, and you're definitely real. Respect to you, ma'am.
Wow. Thank you, Wendy Johnson. She's pretty
Say
much
thank you in Chinese.
yeah. Shay Shay Ni. Fei Chan Shay Shay Ni.
I gotta use this.
Fei
Che
Chan Fei Chan Shay Shay Ni.
Fei
Huh?
Fei Chan
Fei Chan
Fei Chan Shay Shay Ni. Woo!
Here's
Fei
another
Chan Shay.
guy. Boom. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you very much, Wendy Johnson. Yeah, we don't have that here, Waffles. We're not set off for, I've got cats going around here all the time. Um, you know, there's nothing going to set, people can imagine anything that they want about that. But the fact that when Marshall opened the door, there was obviously someone climbing over a wooden fence, beaten all heck to get out of here off of the Rancho property. That's all I need. That's all.
Can I point out just some key
Yeah, we're
things?
going to branch over to security now. We've talked about the
But
Sports
just some key
Illustrated. Let me
things
just wrap it up. We've talked about the Sports Illustrated, and I commend Sports Illustrated for putting a lovely full-figured BBW gal in their issue. It's about time that women were liberated. I know myself, I strive towards being in the best shape I can be. But on the other hand, I believe it's liberating for women to break out of that mold of you have to be a certain way or you're not considered beautiful. This has been a great change over the last 15 years in America, and I applaud it. Not the health issues of being, and I say like an Amber Lynn reader, and I finally checked her channel out or something like that. I'm not talking about crazy overweight with pending health issues. I'm talking about a woman that obviously enjoys her size, enjoys life, and there's more fashion being designed for those women. The other thing we talked about was Coors Brewing Company, 146 years in Golden, Colorado, unbelievably and shockingly moving their headquarters to Chicago, Illinois. What a blow to the city of Golden, Colorado. It's got to be a bleak day at the mayor's office in
the economy
Golden.
taking a hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, Dawn. So on that note, why don't you go ahead and
Yeah, I just wanted to make just some key points about the realism of last night's event. First of all, Patricia Wakefield was in here. There's a couple of other people in here that mentioned many times in the timestamps that either they saw a flashlight out behind the rancho here, or the security light was going on and off in different timestamps. Now,
thank you,
what was
Scottish.
making the security light go off, I don't know, because I'm not sure what the sensitivity of this light is. I see it going on and off sometimes intermittently. What makes it go off, I don't know. But supposedly that was going off, according to some people when they watched the video of the timestamps. The other thing was, and I think Patricia Wakefield was the one who told us the lights, or there was something going off. So I went outside, and like I said, I observed. First of all, this is other key things. The wooden fence was shaking violently. Now Rosie says that it's because the guy, uh, went over the fence that made that happen. I believe the guy was shaking it to frighten me, to let me know that he's there.
Waffles, you're too fucking funny, man.
That was a
Did you see what Blue said? Can we see running around with a Glock and a bikini? I'm sorry, Marshall. I love Blue.
so again, that's the.
I'll be back in a minute.
I tried to shake the fence, the chain link fence, where the bushes are not at, where somebody would have went up and down, and there's no way that the fence being back there that I could have shook that wooden fence. I had a really bad feeling spiritually before I got back to the Shine Shack. It was a very evil feeling. Whatever this person was that was there was emanating a very evil vibe. Very, very evil, very negative. I felt that spiritually. I felt that telepathically. And this person started violently shaking the wooden fence. At that point, I was at 100%. My awareness level of our safety was being threatened here. And that's when I came back into the rancho and told Rosie, look, there's somebody out here. Because of the shaking of the wooden fence. And I was thinking, what did that represent? Does that mean this person is coming back to attack us? Is this person leaving? You know, you're here at the rancho and you see this wooden fence shaking violently or being punched. And you're thinking to yourself, is this a large animal? Is this like a mountain lion back there? Is this a raccoon? Is this a... What's going on? It's very, very odd. Now, something like that would happen. And an animal, unless it's a raccoon, even if a raccoon was climbing on that wooden fence, there's no way... You'd have to take the fence, the top of the fence, with your hands and shake it. Or hold on to the fence and shake it violently like an earthquake. So at that point, I didn't know what that represented, the shaking. Does that mean this person is trying to break through the fence? Does that mean this person is giving me a warning? Does that mean this person is coming at me? Does that mean... I don't know what to make of it. It was very, very odd. That's when I came back and notified Rosie what was going on. Jen woke up right away, and they were ready and locked and loaded. And then we went outside. Obviously, there was a vehicle out here that me and Rosie both observed, 4-door sedan, Toyota or something like that. And there was a driver in the car. The passenger door was being closed, and they took off. I had an inclination. My first inclination when I heard the wooden fence rattling back there was to call the police, come in the house, and secure ourselves, because you don't know what you're facing here. And And then when they left, my second inclination was actually to get in Rosie's van and follow them, not to confront them, but to identify who they are, identify their license plate, and call the police at the same time. That didn't happen, but that adds to the realism of what happened, reality and facts. And on top of that, like I said, Missy Jen, I've never seen. You can watch all of Rosie's videos, all of what go through all of her hangouts or bikini bacon videos.
Hey, Cindy. Hey,
You've
Monique.
never seen Missy Jen or Rosie with their guns out, and Missy Jen waking up in the middle of the night on Rosie's hangouts and ready to confront somebody. Never. You can go to Rosie's videos all the way to 2013. I've never had nothing like this happen to me personally. I'm the most trolled, talked about, controversial nomad in the world, bar none. Nobody more trolled than Elvis Travels. I've never faced something like this last night. I mean, this is on a whole different level. I'm used to having cops called on me. I'm used to being followed on the highway, notes put on my rig, being videotaped. But to have a nighttime encounter with somebody that was so bold to take the risk of, coming over a private property on a fence, not knowing, it got my adrenaline and blood flowing, and I went into what any mode anybody else would go to protect our lives here, and you don't know what you're facing. So, but the thing is that
Go ahead, finish up.
that's pretty much it with that. And one thing is, when Rosie and Jen came out with their guns and everything, the people had already left. We were just combing the property here to see what was going on. I think when the vehicle left, I got a sigh of relief that there was no more threat. That the threat was gone. It was removed, and I'm glad it could have been worse. It could have been worse, and like I said, last thing I gotta say, I don't think these people know Rosie and Jen very well. I don't think that they know that they're armed. I don't think that they know that there's dangerous dogs over here. And, God forbid they could have got really hurt or even worse. I'm glad that nothing happened, and I'm glad that people can learn from this experience of what happened here. From my experience with Dave the fisherman, I went the legal way, and that was a legal. People learn things legally with that case with Dave. For those who watched, if they watched all the way back in 2017, and I think with this, what do you think, Rosie? People learned from this whole experience here, from the last. What did the people on YouTube learn? What did they? What lesson did they take on both sides? From I believe 199% is a troll. From the troll side
Okay,
to
I'm flip a coin 50-50
Okay.
on it. Reason being, I've had people, recently about, I don't know, when I came back after the trip to the Midwest and I was here, my van got all screwed up. I lost my keys in Cheyenne and they screwed up the warranty repair. We had two teenagers that jumped the fence and came forward and walked right past Missy Jen and the dog.
that's
They were
7 in the
Georgie.
afternoon though.
7 at night. Okay.
Okay, that's
We've had a tweaker on the property. We did a video. He left I can't remember if it was me or Missy Jen came in. Did you leave a sweatshirt out on the property? I'm like, no, I don't have it. It was a greasy sweatshirt. We found keys. We found money that had been
but
left
only
there.
2 incidences until how long you been here since 2011?
Yeah.
We're talking
Now,
you've been
Did
here
we call the
almost-
police at that time? Yes, we
Right.
did. The cop came by. We turned over the things to him, and just called it done. Now that's the only. This. There were three people. Okay. Now, I'm not counting the first year I was here when I didn't. First few months when I didn't have good fencing up on their property, and people would come by when I was eating breakfast and just wave, and while I'm eating breakfast there. So that's what happened. I don't believe. No,
I'll say that
the mountain lions. I've shown a picture of a mountain lion that was captured in downtown Santa Rosa at the mall at the end of April. You can just Google mountain lion Santa Rosa and you'll see pictures of it crouched down outside of the Macy's in a flower box there in broad daylight.
I'll say that from
Good morning, Richard.
When in 2018, the winter of 2018, when I was being gang stalked by the trolls of stickers from Europe, I had 3 notes. I had 2 notes put on my van. I was recorded within 24 hours, recorded on video, with 3 different videos on YouTube. There was a mass amount of people, thousands of people looking for me and trolling me. And last night, what happened was a historic thing on YouTube. You had 2 big hangouts talking about us. A lot of people were talking about us. A lot of threats came in, and in my opinion, the higher possibility of it being a YouTube troll is much, much higher than just somebody randomly here in Santa Rosa area or in the surrounding area. Because Rosie's been here since what, 2011? We're talking 2019. She's been here almost 9 years, and these incidents that have happened here have been. It's not like this happens once a year over here. So the chance, that's just my opinion, the calculation, anybody can make their opinion. I'm just giving my opinion about it. I think it's a much, 99% it's a troll on
Yeah,
YouTube.
we have
So, according to
Elvis is
all,
gaping. We have had people ride by. And
according
say,
to the statistics, if you just take the statistics, the data of the situation, the hundreds and thousands of people talking about me being here, talking about you, the hangouts, thousands of people watch these hangouts. It's being circulated within many, many communities. If 2 big hangouts happen, 3 big hangouts, your hangout, my hangout, another hangout, we're talking 3, 4 hangouts. And this all happened on the same day. Just take the data and the statistics and the probability. The probability of it being a YouTube person, in my opinion, is much higher than random. According to the statistics, I mean, this a nighttime
I
person
will,
coming to the
Jessica. Thank
rancho
you,
at
sweetie.
Rosie's Bikini Hangout. She's had bikini bacon hangouts here once a week for the past what, 3, 4 years, 2, 3 years, 3, 4 years.
Probably, probably a good 3 years I've been doing
Exactly,
that. Yeah.
and nobody ever had showed
No.
up here on those days.
No.
But
No.
now all of a sudden, Elvis Travels is here. Rosie's having a bikini hangout, and this happens. No, I think that this person, people can say this person was coming for Elvis Travels. This person violated all of us, violated private property on the rancho, Missy Jen, Rosie, our lives, our security, our safety. Not only this person, but the people that are pushing this to happen. So, again, I'm just saying my opinion. I can't say 100% because there's no way for me to prove it, but I'm just going with the data that I have. And the data that we have overwhelmingly, if you just add it all up, my hangout, Rosie's hangout, the other trolls hangout, 2 trolls hangouts, and the hundreds and thousands of people talking about us, and plus people knowing where Rosie lives. They know where she lives. She's been doxxed. It's no secret. Just a massive amount of data leans towards. I completely disagree with Rosie. Leans towards YouTube than somebody random. I don't think it's 50-50. I completely. I mean, it's more like that's my opinion. So
I've been here 8 years.
right.
8 years, and May 31st I've been here.
And never you've had nobody come in the nighttime.
But it is the neighborhood that we live in, so I have to put some credence to the idea of randomness. That's why I I call a 50-50 on that.
There would be no reason from a perspective of a criminal, and I'm just looking at it from a criminal perspective. If I want to rob somebody here in Santa Rosa, I'm going to go break into a car and steal something, right? That's what most people do. Who's gonna? You got a big property with the lights on. They know people are inside.
I agree, Cindy
With
Lopez.
a big dark property, not knowing. First of all, you got to jump over a. You got.
I gotta agree with Cindy. Data, you have no data on that area. See, I've been here a lot of years.
Right.
I see the California babblers that come up and down the streets.
Why would they target
And
the
a lot
rancho?
of
If you
people-
say it's not YouTube,
Well,
why
I'm
would they
saying the
target the
reason
rancho?
it may be YouTube
The
is
data.
the thing that makes me the most. Number one, I believe the fence was rattled. Excuse me.
Right.
But number two, the car on the side taken off
Okay.
when everything came down.
I think that's Rose's opinion, is my opinion, but my counter question to you is, if this person, if you believe that it's 50-50, but it's possibility not from YouTube, right?
Yeah.
A person comes here, a dark property at night, out of all these properties in Santa Rosa. Say I'm
Yeah,
a
you're
robber, I'm a
surprised by the
burglar.
lack of street lights here and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying, okay, say I'm a robber, I want to steal something in Santa Rosa, right? First of all, it's dark back there. You can't see anything back there. You'd have to have a flashlight to see what you're
Right.
getting into. There's nothing out there in the back of your property that's valuable to steal. There's nothing back there. What are they going to steal? Apples from
But
trees? There's nothing
we've
back
been
there.
working on the van here. A lot of power tools have been employed here on the property, and it tends to draw attention here.
Right.
I have an apartment complex behind. It's multi-story, and people have a good area
But
to.
the access to get to it, you got to go over an 8-foot fence, and then she's got fences over here that are 7 feet high. The randomness of it, of just to pick the
There you go,
rancho
Goldie.
to take something. First of all, you got to go over a high fence. Second of all, it's like if that's the case and somebody is surveilling
Yeah, it
us here at
happened
the
on the
rancho
live stream.
and they want to come and take Rosie's tools, because that's all there is to take. There's nothing out here to take but some tools.
There wasn't anybody in the bush, Tars. It turned out there was nobody up there.
It is a possibility, but
I
the
had believed
possibility
that there
is
was
very slim.
somebody. I had believed there was somebody between the fence and the south side of the main building here.
I mean, in other words, it's
And
a possibility.
I will call my shot beforehand. I'm not going to go shooting into a bush with a weapon. Okay.
Nobody's going to steal her moonshine machine. That thing's so heavy, there's no way they can get that. It's a possibility. Somebody surveilled us over here. It's a very slight possibility. Somebody surveils over here, and now they're coming here at 1 in the morning with the lights on. Think about it. It doesn't make sense. Not with the lights on, and they're going to break into your garage and steal tools. It doesn't make sense because the lights on.
Well,
It goes
I
down
gotta,
slimmer and slimmer.
I got to consider my experience in the area here. I mean, as I've said before,
Yeah.
you can look it up. There was a guy that was, that was zip tied his hands behind his back and put 2 bullets in his head.
Well, we're
here,
talking
okay?
statistics on the rancho.
Right
You've been
next
here
door.
You've been here since 2011.
Yep.
The only time you had a person in here in the nighttime, it wasn't even here, was a homeless tweaker. You've never had a person here on the rancho.
True.
For almost what? You've been here almost 9. It's going to go 2020 is going to be 9 years. So the possibility of it to being the 50-50 with all the data, the massive data, and the thousands of people watching, and the thousands of people talking about us, all the data and the massive amount of data and evidence and proof, threats of people saying they're going to come over here, hangouts after hangout, and all this, the data goes to more that it's a YouTube troll
Wig
than something
snatcher.
random. There's no way that it's 50-50.
Now, Tar says, it's illegal to shoot a person on your property. Call your local. You know what,
Castle
Tars?
Doctrine.
I spoke last night to give the effect of flushing somebody out that might be there. Okay? This was my intent. Would I have physically shot somebody that was on the property that presented themselves that was hidden behind a bush? The answer is no. Okay, I would not have done so unless the only time, and there were claims that I was drunk and all that. There was no way I was drunk last night. The only time I would have done that is if somebody actually brandished a weapon and raised a weapon on me, then it would have been done right there. Dancing Dawn. Tell Marshall about the people having sex. Yeah. It's so dark here that in springtime this is a lover's lane out here. People park out here, and
Is that the real D-dubs there or a troll? You should check and see this.
I'm not sure if it's the real one or
I know
not.
if it's
I
a
don't
troll,
know.
you
I
probably
don't
should.
know. I'm just checking it out. I'm just checking it out.
Because I see D-dub travels there, but I don't know if it's
Yeah,
real
let me
or-
see. Let me go to the channel. I've had 15 D-dubs in tonight.
Right,
That's the
probably.
that's the real
That's the
dub.
real
That's
one,
the real
okay.
D on there. And as I've said before, and I will say it again now that D is presented in the chat here, the same thing I said the same thing that I said this morning. D, I'm sure in time will address the things that he wants to address on his channel. Okay, and that's the important takeaway for my part. Did did I have a good time chooching with D? Yes. Okay, number one. Number two was, did D rise to the occasion and defend me on the streets of Las Vegas when things came down? Yes, he did. He walked about half, three quarters of a mile in a cold rain to come and help me out in downtown Las Vegas. Now, as for the other things, that is incumbent on D to present his information on that and carry forward. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, we all have our own. We all have our. How you doing, Vinny? We all have our own past. Certainly, mine's been bandied around on YouTube. I should never eat that candy. Every darn time I have chocolate, same damn thing. So, all right. So that's all I'm going to say on that, and it will be up to D to if and when he chooses to address that. I remember the van was shaking. Yeah, I mean it was a pretty wild time. It was a pretty wild time on the out there. Let's see. Did he have last like? Well, he's got a like I do, you know. So I'm saying that'll be up to D, and yeah, it'll be something that I think is best covered on his particular channel. Let's see. Anyone come near my undo in jail? The perpetrator is dead. No concession. I would feel the same way about my daughters, Vinny G. Absolutely. Gonna stay for the lavender.
I wanted to add something about that. I read the Castle Law tonight on Google, the Castle Law of California. They're talking about shooting people, and it said on there that if somebody comes into your home, even if they break into your home, there has to be proof and evidence this person was a viable threat to your family, and you can even get in trouble to shoot them in your home. It's not there's no standing your ground law in California.
Yeah.
It's only in Florida.
Yeah. California is an exceptionally liberal state,
Yeah.
and it's no secret that they hate weaponry of any kind. If they could blink their eyes tomorrow and remove everything except the most ubiquitous hunting rifle or shotgun, they would here in the state of California.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Missy says I'll be in Phoenix next month. Okay, you spoke out on the Holly stream. Okay, D. We make our day long here. Yeah, the home is okay. But anybody that believes that I was just going to go out there and just blow somebody away.
Like Rambo.
We're taught which Missy, Jen, and I have had extensive courses. We don't put them on YouTube. But the first thing that you want to do in that type of situation is verbally communicate with somebody who may have violated your property. Give them a chance to come out, okay, and face it. All right. The worst thing somebody could do in that situation is come out and draw a weapon, and then I have every right, because they will be seen to have had a weapon on them, and then it'll become, well, you know, am I going to have somebody draw a bead on me? The answer is no. That's it. So,
well, even if they have a knife.
Yeah, there we go. Dancing Dawn. Tell Marshall he's safe. You have a space gun. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, so he's safe here on the safe here on the rancho. So you know that's Marshall's take on what happened last night. But you have to consider Marshall's frame of reference on this is coming from years of heavy involvement with trolls and with, I dare say, a negative side of YouTube. and it's a side that maybe didn't go down as well as expected, obviously, by the blowback. My take is more neighborhood oriented because I've been here a long time.
On a funny note, if somebody comes into the rancho, the only thing you'll be able to
You
really
know,
easily.
Tars says one should never ever handle a firearm while consuming alcohol. Accidents occur that way. Tars, we never know when the situation is going to call. And whether I've had a few beers in me or not, I have every right, alcohol or not, to swing into action. And I was in full control of my faculties last night, as was Missy Jen. Marshall's response is to call the authorities, the police department. My response is no, go out there and do it yourself out there. So, let's see. That's the reality. That's the reality of that. Okay, and that's the way I feel about that. So, had I drank a few beers? Yes. Was I drunk? No. There's the answer. What's the old saying? I'd rather be I'd rather be held up by 6 than carried by 12.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm surprised, Rosie, that going to Norm's house, nothing ever happened there. I thought something was going to happen with the trolls.
No, Toronto. I thought you would be super safe up there.
Yeah, because Canada is a really safe country compared to the United States. In Chicago, I thought that I was going to deal with trolls at Mr. X's house. Nothing really ever happened. And I've been to Jory's house many, many times. There've been some phone calls. But this, what happened here, uh, coming, because everybody knows that, you know, coming here to Rosie's
Good birds.
it was a big deal. Jory's a big deal. The chairman of the board, Norm F, is a big deal. Mr. X is a big deal in my life. And then coming over here and
Yeah, thank you, Frankie.
having this happen, again, I'm going to look at it as intimidation and bully. But one thing that it's an intimidation, scare, and bully tactic. But one thing is, you're not going to intimidate and scare and bully not Rosie and not Missy Jen. They're not people that you want to intimidate and bully because they will stand their ground over here, and they're ready and they're trained to defend themselves and to defend this property.
Yeah,
And
in any situation.
and people commenting about Rosie drinking, you have the right to drink as much as you want in your house. There are no restrictions on how much you drink in your house. She's not in a vehicle driving, and she has a right
let me
to defend her property inside and outside.
Let me also.
That's a baloney excuse that you people are using about
Let me
Rosie
also
drinking.
tell anybody if the situation arises, whether you've had a few drinks or not. When you think that something's coming down on your property, are you really going to take the time to, do a test to see if you can walk a line or touch your nose or something like that? No. You're going to immediately swing into action no matter what the situation is.
She's not driving. Her alcohol blood content has nothing to. She can drink as much as she wants in her house.
Yeah,
this is her home. That's ridiculous. It's not like she's driving. You people.
Yeah, I'm not driving anywhere, and I'll tell you.
I'm sick and tired of them mentioning that.
No matter what the situation is, that I would be out there doing exactly what I did last night. You'd be surprised how quickly that sobers you up too, and something like that.
Rosie didn't break any laws. The person that broke the laws is the person that went over that fence and
we were actually having a good we had Bergs on the phone. I'm just
from my perspective, when they're saying you're drinking, you shouldn't be handling a firearm. There's no laws on that. She's not driving. She's in her home. She can drink as much as she wants. This is her home. If she can't drink here, where's she going to drink?
Right.
There's no law saying that that you can't handle a firearm and you drink at your home.
Yeah, I know what the law is, Tars, but I would rather face the law than have something go down here on the rancho. That's what I'm saying. Let's see, Rosie. I'm telling you, Katie, the adrenaline just snapped me to it last night, and Marshall saw a well-oiled machine swing into motion. Missy Jen went out, and her immediate course of action is to sweep the south side and the east side of the rancho, which she did beautifully, going right down the side. Yeah, well, I have advanced training stuff too, Frankie, but I'm not going to talk too much in detail about that. So, Rosie Veronica thinks you're. Oh, Burgess! Oh my God! Yeah, it was a good shoot. It was a good shoot. Yeah, shoot first, ask questions later. But do I want to hurt anybody? No. Would I have hurt a kid? No. Would I have hurt an adult? No. Only if I felt that I was immediately threatened. But Marshall, we're told to call out people and give them a chance. You know, when
Well,
they see what the situation is, when you have multiple people in a
uh,
situation, are you really going to have a shootout in that situation? No, you're going to come out and say, "Sorry, man, I was going to play a prank or something like that, and
I
it went
think that
south on me."
this individual that came here, and this is just my opinion, I believe this individual that came here, um, either his intention was to flash a light on her and run away, knock on the door and say hello and leave, or Rosie has a very, this is the difference between me and her. She has a very welcoming spirit to people on YouTube. We've seen her.
Yeah, of course I
She
do.
talks to
I
homeless
love to
people on
meet
the
people.
street. She talks to drunks. She talks to people getting out of bars. She has this lovable, I'm the people's person personality. And the thing is that over the years, there's been nobody that has ever knocked on the Lisa Marie's door. They had opportunities to, but they didn't. There's only been one person that
Well,
did that, and that's Dave the Fisherman. And that's because I know him. Because they know that if they knock on Lisa Marie's door, I've told people this many times before, I'm coming out with my baseball bat, and I'm not backing down from anybody. And so, um, and and that's the message
Jesus, Vinny.
that I put out to
God
people.
damn.
And so Rosie has a very welcoming spirit. Maybe this person was thinking, hey, Rosie
God
O'Kelly is
damn,
friendly.
Vinny.
Rosie
Jesus.
O'Kelly is friendly. She's going to let me in her house, and I'm a YouTube fan. Or
Hi Rosie. This is to repair the chair elbow is sitting on.
I can't
Maybe-
help it, man. You know,
maybe in
it's
this
Vinny
person-
G, man.
maybe
I
in
gotta
this-
give the man. I gotta give the man a air hug. You know. And
maybe in this person's mind, you think
Thank you, Vinny.
they've already came over the fence and the property. So the only thing left would be to identify themselves. Either to knock on the door or say hello or have some core communication. The only communication that took place was not with Rosie. It was with me. And that form of communication that took place was only one. Shaking the fence. And when I heard that fence shaking violently, that was a very negative aspect of the confrontation, of the communication. It was a violent shake on the fence like, hey, don't get near me. Don't come here. So that's the
well,
one key.
that's where we disagree. I think it was
That's the
shaking and
shaking
getting back
of-
over the.
I
fence.
completely disagree with that because I tried to go back there and shake the fence. It's about 150 feet away from the wooden fence. I don't care if you were.
Yeah, it's about the whole property's the length of a football field.
I'm 270 pounds, and I can shake that fence and probably tear it out of the ground. And there's no way that I could shake that wooden fence. There's no way. It's almost 200 feet away. I don't care what you do. That this wooden fence wouldn't move. There was somebody behind the fence, and they were shaking the fence violently, and it was to send a message to me. It was a very negative message. It was a message of warning. Don't come near me. It was a very negative message, and it was part of. That was the message that they put out. Was shaking that fence. I guess they didn't want to take it further than that. They weren't going to come over here and knock on the door or come in the house or because either they knew Rosie and Jen were armed and they didn't want to deal with it, or the only form of communication was the shaking of the fence. Now Rosie can say that's her opinion. I don't believe that she can.
I don't
she can
believe somebody's
replicate
gonna.
that. There's no way
I don't
physically.
believe somebody's gonna stop
I was
and
10.
shake a fence to make a statement. I think that they're hightailing it
Hightailing
over
it.
the fence.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Okay.
We have a difference of it. That's fine. We see things differently as they unfold.
Now I'll tell you why. I tell you why I disagree with that
Jesus,
again.
Vinny.
I tell you why that I disagree with that again. With Rosie on the second point, I was 10 feet, 5 feet away, 5 feet away from the fence. I was right there. The when I heard the fence shaking, I didn't hear anybody landing.
Thank you, Vinny.
I didn't hear anybody over the chain link fence. Another thing, what I'm saying, why it's for you. What he has to say.
Rosie is totally safe. Elbow is a Superman.
I don't know.
So the other reason I want to say why I disagree with you on this is because when I came in
I'm
to
sorry,
tell you,
man.
it took
I'm
about
laughing
1 minute. It took about 1 minute or more. When I came in from back there to tell you there was somebody back there, we went to the front of the property, and the door of the vehicle that was out there, which were the trolls, the door was already being closed, and they were leaving.
Yes.
That means it took the person at
Goldie
least
Con.
1 minute. It took the person at least 30 to 45 seconds because it's a long distance to go from the back of the property up to here. It took them 30 to 45 seconds to run back there, climb the fence, run all the way to the front of the street, and
You
take
guys,
off.
Vinny, you're nuts.
That's why the door was being closed by the time Rosie got her.
Thank you, Goldie Con. Vinny, thank you.
Elbow's kryptonite is Brimanda May.
By the time it was a 30 to 40, it was a 45 second to 1 minute interval.
Thank you, Goldie Con.
Rosie, shake your fence. I'll shake mine.
There we go.
Rosie can make a video. I'm challenging her to make a video of this and shake that fence. I'll go over that fence, and I guarantee you that
Now
that
we have
wooden fence
we
is
have
not
a
gonna shake
busted
like that.
down cactus over there.
A busted down cactus.
Yes.
But the fence was shaking. I was on
And
the
I
other
don't want to
side.
comment because I took a picture of it and I took it today. But I'm just saying. Okay.
But the shaking of the fence was on the other side. Here's a shine shack is right here. The fruit trees are on this side. There's nothing on the other side but the wood that she cuts for fire.
No.
The shaking of
Look
the fence.
again.
The shaking of the
Look
fence.
again, Marshall. What's over there?
Well, the shaking of the fence was on the other side of the fence, and like I said, she can. There's nothing that chain link fence is back there, and anyways, that's my whole point. Whatever, it really doesn't matter. The whole point is that whatever happened. I'm just giving my opinion.
Now
Of it,
let's
so-
talk about this. We have different approaches to what you do in that
Yeah,
situation.
I wouldn't
and
have
that's
done what you
okay.
did. Yeah,
You're 13 years or whatever in security or whatever. Even as you never carried a weapon, but you did.
I
I'm
did
sure
deal with a
multiple
lot of
times
stuff.
call the police to come to a situation like that.
right.
Now, if a police response is slow, which it will be, you might as well put on Gone with the Wind and watch it by the time the cops show up around here. If you call
Right.
them for about a trespassing situation,
The only fence Elbow can get over is garden edging.
Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like to be?
Vinny, hold on to your money, man. I got to send it all back to you.
Hey,
You
picture
know
this.
that.
Picture this now, right? It's about 2014.
Now, let me finish my statement.
Okay,
though.
go ahead.
Okay, if you knew that you could wait and watch Gone with the Wind, which is 3.5 hours of a movie, waiting for police to show up on a trespassing call, you know that in your mind. If I thought somebody on here told me the typical response time in an emergency is like 5 minutes.
But what do you base that upon?
For what somebody posted in the side chat there. Response
have you ever
time
called
is
them?
5 minutes in a real emergency.
And
Now,
this is a
we
real
got
emergency.
swatted.
Somebody's breaking into your home here.
We got swatted here in January.
Right.
Okay?
You're basing that on your opinion.
Now-
yeah.
I'm not basing it on my opinion. Somebody put a documented fact about response times to real emergencies. That January SWAT, the Santa Rosa Police Department took that as a real situation where something was going on here. We
Right.
had, I can't even remember whether there's 5 or 6 cops in here. Okay? Now, these cops, when they came in, their story that they heard was there was an ex-boyfriend here with a knife that had already killed one person,
Right.
and was running around threatening to stab somebody else.
Right.
That brought a big response in. Okay,
How long did it take him to get her?
I have no idea from the time the call went down to the get here, but based on the way they came in to the place, with the number of people that came in here, they were ready for business that night.
But nothing was
Okay,
on
because
video,
they
right?
thought
You got nothing on video.
yeah, because I knew what was coming down. But you can
Oh,
hear
okay.
on the window, Santa Rosa police. You can hear them
Is
actually
that
knock
public
on the
record,
window.
that thing?
Yes, it is. The report was filed. It was
So,
posted.
So it'd
Yeah.
be interesting to see if it is public record, because
It is public
there was no
record.
video of it.
No, because I wanted to do one thing. Number one, turn the video down, and number two, turn the sound off so you wouldn't feed the people that worked
did
so
it.
hard
Okay.
to set this up.
Well, last
Okay,
night
they would not get the joy of hearing what
I
was
see.
coming down.
Okay.
Last night's situation was different. You know, when
Well,
I'm in there and hearing that, I'm not
exactly.
initially sure what's coming down. Okay, but when I heard Santa Rosa police and they're banging on the glass here, that was a totally different situation than somebody 25 or 30 feet potentially
I know.
out back
But
there.
that'd be interesting to see if it is public record, how long it took for them to come over. Now, Rosie can say it's 1 hour for the Santa Rosa police to come here. If you have somebody that's breaking into your property, they're breaking into your home. That's a real emergency. And if Rosie's saying it's going to take them an hour to get here, I don't know how.
If
what she's
that,
basing
you
that
know,
on.
I'm not really sure how long it's going to take them to get here, but I can tell you
That's
this,
hard to believe.
you know, in that type of situation. I just used the number counter. I always said the same cent 58 times in the last. Yeah. You know what was sad, Jessica, Jennifer, when they were on their way out? I don't know whether the cop thought that there was a step there to walk down, but this one of the cops actually tripped over the planter box. And I kind of laughed at the time because I thought it was like Keystone Cops or something like that. But I put a concrete lip around the planter box out front. And that's what saved the house from being destroyed when this dickhead in 2014 ran and took out the corner of the property here, a drunk person, okay? But if that guy had fallen forward a couple more inches, he would have split his skull open on that concrete edging I put around. Elvis was scared of Miss Wonderful, real alpha male. I think actually you demanded $500.
I wasn't scared of Miss Wonderful. I demanded $500 for her to meet me, and she didn't pay up. And why would I want to meet? Why would I want to meet her?
Yeah, that could have went really bad, Jessica Jennifer. I don't need a cop to. Well, I
Elbow
could
was
have gone.
scared of Miss Wonderful. Real alpha male.
I'll tell you what, Jessica Jennifer. If a cop had been injured, we have we have the felony assault. Originally, was the felony murder rule. If somebody dies in the commission of a felony, it's automatically murder. If a cop had gotten injured on this, they would have torn the internet apart to figure things out.
A lot of people were saying that there was no police log of that, or they couldn't find a police log or something. I
Oh,
don't
they
know.
found it. They posted the link. It's on there.
Oh, okay.
Santa Rosa Police. They posted. Jack Sparrow had a video.
I've always
of it
wanted
with
to read the thing.
link.
I never had it. I mean,
And
I
yet
heard
there were deniers. You know,
Right.
within my own so-called family that denied that there was no way the cops left in 5 minutes. Yeah,
Right.
they did. As soon as the cop came around the corner and saw YouTube on the screen,
Well,
you
if
could
it's
tell
available
his
to the
shoulders. No, his shoulders went down, and the whole tenor of the visit stopped right there. One guy, the first two guys that came and asked me, "Is there a back to the property?" I said, "Yes." They immediately lit out to the back
Right.
of the property. Okay. Now, having ascertained that it's a YouTube thing coming down
Right.
on a spoof number, yeah, you think they're going to waste a lot of time here? No, they headed out the door.
Did you ever put the link out, Rosie, for that? For the police thing?
I didn't need to put the link out because
okay.
if you put it on YouTube, 100 people are going to call, and I'm not going to spend money on a police record to put it up there. But other people did, and put it up on video.
You got to pay for that, right? To put that up, or I think it's a police.
Yeah, you have to
report.
pay to get that
pay.
report. Yeah, you can get a preliminary. Yeah, there was a wellness check on a property. but you have to pay money. And when I called to see if I could get a copy, it's like, it's $5. I said, oh hell no, I'm not.
Let me ask you this, since you brought that up. I got a question about that. Can you do the recording of the person that called? Is it
I'm
recorded?
sure I could get it under the
FOIA request?
Freedom of Information Act. I just
Yeah.
never chose to do that.
Could you put that
But
on
according
YouTube?
to the cop that came, there was a report of a ex-boyfriend with a knife that was going crazy here on the property.
Can't you FOIA request that and
I
put it
can
on
if I
YouTube
want
so
to.
people can hear it?
I can if I want to.
Yeah.
But
You
at
can.
this point, I don't even care anymore because it happened. The police report is there.
But I mean, expose
And,
who
you
called though. You'll be
Well,
exposing.
they'll never, is
The person
things were
calling
different
the
then.
police.
Things on the property are much different now as far as the Santa Rosa Police Department compared to.
I would want to hear who called, because you'd be exposing the troll that called. I think that would be interesting.
Well, what are you going to expose?
Their voice.
Well,
I don't know. If their identity would be exposed, probably anonymous, but at least you'd hear who the voice is. I've had trolls call the cops on me, and they put recorded phone calls and gave it to trolls. So
yeah, I never chose to do that. To me, my thought was don't give people the pleasure of seeing it come.
anybody
down.
can get it with a FOIA request. Anybody, it's Freedom of
So
Information.
the first thing I did was put the camera down, and I turned off the sound immediately because I'm not going to feed into somebody's jollies for having called the cops on the property. Hey, Beryl, how you doing? That was my first thought. As soon as I heard the cops bang on the window, I knew what was coming.
I'm surprised because usually you don't strike me as a person that would turn the camera off.
Oh, absolutely. In that situation, when there was a SWAT coming down, because I know there's people sitting out there that called it in that are waiting to watch the show. And the only thing I could do at that time was to turn it all off so that there was no show. But the report was filed and it's public information.
How do you know the people called? How did you know that in other words, if you're sitting doing a hangout, how do you know are they saying we're going to call on you? Or how did you know?
But that was after the Stewie incident at the,
where people were tipped off about the Las Vegas,
the bar celebration of Stewie's life. Not awake, but the bar celebration of his.
So he says some people were offended by that.
And I know who it was that called, and he knows that I know who it was. It was a well-known rabble-rouser that was a real doxer and everybody else in the community. I know exactly who.
So you knew it was coming, basically.
Yep. Put a collar on. No, Vinny, I'm not going to do that. I'm still waiting for you to have Mama Bear with lipstick on.
I would get a FOIA request and put it up and expose the person that called. The person that called. Well, anybody can get a FOIA request. If it's out there for public, anybody can get a FOIA. It's open to the public.
Well, it is. So I didn't have to worry about, do I have to produce a report? I knew within 24 hours there would be videos up, and there were people showing the police reports. Let's see.
I'm not part of the bottom of YouTube. I'm from the RV community. Everybody wants to say Elvis Travels is for bottom of YouTube. People inducted me into the bottom of YouTube. I've never been a drama. I've always been an RV channel. But they always want to call me bottom of YouTube.
I'm sorry, man. You and I are Boyd.
Nope.
We'll always be Boyd.
People from the bottom of YouTube is people who have no content.
Thank you. Thank you, Bounty Hunter.
It's faceless, nameless trolls who have no content. Rosie is from the transgender community.
Yeah, but I'm a Boyd person. We were here forever, man. We were here when, 2014. I was on private hangouts before they ever went over to YouTube.
This whole thing with bottom YouTube.
Yeah, Goldie. Let me see if I can roll that. Let me see what I got here. Wendy likes the Baltimore Clippers fight song. Yeah. AHL hockey. Somebody said Baltimore never had a hockey team. Nonsense. It was the most southern hockey team in America at that time. Okay, here we go. Let's give that a minute.
Win you Baltimore Clippers, win you Clippers from Baltimore, fight you Baltimore Clippers, baseball. fight for a Baltimore score. Defensemen, forwards, and goalie. We'll win
Elbow has the most famous
without
Ford
a
spot in
doubt.
the world.
Vinny.
For Baltimore and Maryland, every Clipper fan will shout, fight, fight, fight. Win you Baltimore Clippers. Win you Clippers from Baltimore. Fight you Baltimore Clippers.
Get ready to take it up a half step.
Score, score.
Man, that arena would be rocking. The old Baltimore Civic Center, man. They'd be throwing hot dogs on the ice, beer cups, everything. Ladies and gentlemen, the management requests that you stop throwing items onto the ice rink. Thank you. Without a doubt, for Baltimore, Maryland, and the Get ready for a big finish. We're going to take it up a half step one more time. Get ready, take it up a half step, big finish.
Win you Baltimore Clippers. Win you Clippers from Baltimore. Fight you Baltimore Clippers. And score, score, score.
Oh man, if that doesn't get your juices flowing, those glory days of 1968. Marshall sometimes.
Rosie,
Marshall can't believe how old I am
What,
sometimes.
is that We Are the Champions? Is that We Are the Champions?
No, that song. That
No. I'm saying this song, the Bull song, the Chicago Bulls.
I think it probably is. Yeah. It's no pleasure cruise. Do, do, do.
Time after time.
It's no bed of roses. It's no pleasure cruise. La da do 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 la la li di ah. We are the champions, my friends. Ooh, and we'll go on fighting till the end. I know everybody loves that song. I mean, that song's been played more times by me than in the last 4 years it's been on YouTube combined. That was the days when teams would have fight songs and stuff. There was a lot more spirit. Now it's all mercantile. It's all.
Hey, do you
money.
like Marv Albert?
Yeah, I like Marv Albert. He got in
Michael
trouble.
Jordan.
Yeah, I like Al Michaels when he says Baltimore, Baltimore, the Baltimore Ravens. I like that. Do. Yeah, I'm a good singer, huh? We'll keep on fighting till the end.
We are the champions,
We
my
are the
friends,
champions.
and we'll keep on watching.
Yeah, what are you
dog
singing
fight
to
till
your
the
hand?
end. No, because I'm presenting the bass. And we'll keep on watching dogfight till the end.
Because we are the champ. I like that.
We are
It's
the
no
champions.
bed of roses.
No time for
It's
losers,
no pleasure
cause
cruise.
we are the champions.
And life is the do. And a boo boo boo.
Time of the
La
time.
ba do do la 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 la. Do 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 do. Wow. We are the champions, my friend. Woo. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Yeah, I love that. Freddie Mercury, man, that was it. The guy was the bomb. That's it. Well, Marshall, it's about midnight. Any final words? We pretty much covered off security. We kind of have a different opinion about what you do, but you're not. You've been here a few weeks in
Well,
Santa
number
Rosa.
one, I don't have a number one from my perspective. I don't have a firearm. So if I had a firearm, maybe I would take a more proactive approach. But me personally, I don't have a firearm. So if I did, I would probably take a more proactive approach. But from a van dweller's perspective and a nomadic perspective, and living the nomadic life for almost 5 years, The smartest thing to do is to get out of the way of danger. Remove yourself from that situation. And when you're
Are
living
you
in a
kind of
van,
surprised?
the
Are you
difference.
kind of surprised I just threw myself right into?
Well, this is
That's
this is
always been my
this is this
nature
is
in
the
life is to
difference.
always, if there's a
The,
threat, to just ram out and confront the threat head on
this
right
is the
there.
difference
And
between
go out in a blaze of just finish it and be done. I
yeah.
don't like
See,
lingering
this
situations,
is the last
okay?
thing I want to say about this, and it's very important. This is the difference between a person who lives a sticks and bricks life in a home and a nomad. As a nomad, the most natural and proper and realistic and common sense thing to do, if you're in a bad area, if you're in a bad situation, if you feel you're in danger, you leave. You turn the key and you leave. And that's what makes the nomadic lifestyle better any day over the sticks and bricks life, because you can change your location
Good night,
with the turn
Tammy.
of the key. And instead of being a sitting duck, or instead of putting your soul, when you're in a, that's the advantage of the mobile lifestyle over the nomadic, over the sticks and bricks lifestyle. You can change your location if you feel it's dangerous, and you got to remove yourself from that situation. And that's one of the advantages of the nomadic lifestyle. And that's why I think like a nomad. I live like a nomad because I
Yeah.
am a nomad. And my message to all the sticks and bricks people out there, and to all nomads out there: if you're a sticks and bricks person, you don't have that mentality. You're like, I'm going to sit here and fight till the end. When you're a nomad, you have a different mentality. You turn your key and you leave. And that's the difference, like I said, between the thought process and what a person does in calamity, in a bad
Well,
situation.
I'm
So,
not here to talk and give therapy on when a confrontation comes down like that. I want it to end ASAP, and that if
right.
that means I have to go out and rush head on to that
Well, because
situation,
this is your home.
well,
That's
I'm
different.
perfectly anywhere. I wouldn't care whether it was Oakland or anywhere. I'm going to hit it head on,
But if
man.
you're in your van, let me tell you something. If you're in your van and you got somebody knocking on your van at 3 in the morning, right? The smartest thing to do is to drive away and leave, not to sit there and have a
Well,
firefight with
let's talk
somebody. That's
about this
common.
because
That's the difference,
we had a really scary situation
right?
in Milwaukee. When
Milwaukee.
King of all things came up with a bandana. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, baby. When King of all things,
Not king of all
I
things,
mean,
IRC bully.
IRC Bully came up with a
Right,
bandana. Remember, I never met IRC Bully. We'd never seen him before,
right.
Marshall or I. And people will swear it was a setup and all that. But when he came up and leaned on my open window like this, hey, how you doing? You know, the thought that crossed my mind is, thank you, Denise.
Love it, heart with arrow.
Thank you. And I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to tell me, move into the passenger seat, we're going to take a ride. I didn't know this guy, you know. Now that was scary, but did I scream and holler and go crazy? No, my mind's already thinking, how am I going to deal with this situation? You're 50 feet away, standing under the shade over there, looking at me. You don't know what this guy's doing in my. Do you remember that situation? Looking over. What were your thoughts when you saw this guy leaning down on the?
Well, you never really. First of all, you never really asked my thoughts of it. First of
Okay,
all,
well, tell me your
I
thoughts then.
well, I know you brought up king of all things, and I think he's in your subconscious actually.
Well, that's fine.
But anyways,
Regardless,
regardless, what happened? What I saw from my perspective, I saw a guy with a bandana, and going up to Rosie, and I thought it was just somebody, a beggar, just asking for money.
with a bandana on and packing a sidearm,
Well, I couldn't
right?
see the sidearm and all that because I was from a distance. And the thing is that Rosie could have easily rolled her window up, turned the key, and left. And that,
Are you kidding me? With a guy that's pulled up his shirt so that I see that he's carrying a Glock 22 on it. You think it's the kind of situation, did I just roll up number one, my engine isn't even started. Now, what's going to happen when I start my engine and this guy goes into thug mode? Number one, we were told later this is a bad neighborhood to stop in. Equals
uh,
slow police response time over there.
right.
Okay?
I think that what I would have done. I'm just saying what I would have done if I felt, and I couldn't ascertain if I saw somebody and this is again where I disagree with Rosie. If I saw somebody coming and I'm looking in the mirror and I see this person coming
Oh, I didn't see him coming, Marshall. I
to
looked up and he's right there at my
to my
side
door,
window, and I'm
you got
I'm in a
two
really sketchy
yeah,
neighborhood
you got
right
two
now.
chances at life. Either you sit there and probably get killed, robbed, whatever, or you have a chance of getting out. I turn the key right away and blaze out. I wouldn't sit there and talk to him. Rosie talked to him. I wouldn't have did
Yeah,
that.
because the guy shows me
Uh,
he's packing heat on his side. All he has to do is reach up with his right hand, reach down with his right hand really slowly, and bring that up and say, "Hey, move over into the passenger seat. We're
I
going to
have
take
a
a ride."
disagreement on Rosie on this. Rosie
No
talks
way.
to
Hey, Rory, how you doing, babe?
Rosie is too freely open to talking to people that she doesn't know. I think that she had a chance to turn the key to turn the key and leave. The guy was outside her car. He hadn't broken into her car. I should have just put her window up, turn the key, and go. But she decided to talk to the guy. Um,
Yeah, there you go,
so,
Rory.
but because again, I don't know why. Person, it is kind of odd when I noticed that there was a bandana on him. I was about 20 feet away.
You know
But
what my thought is? I wonder what Marshall's going to do in this situation if he knows this guy's packing heat. He'd never seen the guy before. The guy's got his bandana
well, then
over
when he
his
came and
nose, and
talked,
I kept wondering. The thought flashed through my mind: what's Marshall's response going to be if I start driving off? If this guy gets into the driver's seat and I'm forced over to
well, the guy
the
started
passenger
coming
seat?
towards me. He didn't. He
Yeah,
didn't. He didn't.
after he told me
Uh,
I'm not the one that got your monetization removed on
right.
YouTube. And then I
And you
immediately
didn't get
knew.
out and tell me right away what was going on. Now I got this guy.
Yeah, I figured why shouldn't I share the joy with you? Okay, but he had
Right.
already taken down his. No, he didn't at that time.
Right. And this guy had about a 1 or 2 minute conversation with me. She didn't tell me what was going on. I was like, I'm gonna get killed right now. I got this guy standing in front of me with a tactical uniform, with a bandana, with these glasses, and he's got a gun and knife. And she didn't tell me nothing.
Well, how am I
And,
going to tell you?
and I'm
By
sitting
mental
there,
telepathy?
and I'm sitting there
You
right
know, what am I
now,
supposed to do? Open
and
the door and say, "Hey, Marshall, he's coming your
yeah,
way," right?
I'm sitting there, and
Why shouldn't
the
you have
guy's
why
talk.
shouldn't you have a little bit of the joy I experienced?
Right,
You know?
the guy was talking to me, and then he was looking me in the eyes. I'm looking him in the eyes, and I figured to myself, I didn't know it's IRC bully, and he's talking to me, and I forgot what we talked about exactly, but my inclination was the person wanted to deliver a message, and probably it was just to deliver a message and then to leave, but then I saw the gun and I saw the knife. I didn't think he was going to take out the knife and stab me, but I thought he was going to take the gun and shoot me in the head, and she didn't say nothing to me, and that was probably one of the most scariest things of my life. Like I said, I didn't get a feeling.
Yeah, look, I've had a
I
lot
thought
of.
I
I'm
thought
not,
that when I saw the gun, when I saw
I mean,
him
you're
talking to me, I'm
right.
like, he's delivering a message. When I saw the gun, I'm like,
Well,
this
I'm
guy
just
might
saying,
shoot me.
you
And
and I have had our share of
right,
really hardcore, frightening situations on YouTube.
right.
That one I put it at 10. With IRC Bully was a 10. Last
But
night was about a 6.5 to 7 to me.
and I don't know how long Rosie was streaming on that stream or what or
No, I
when
turned it
she
off.
cut it
I
off.
turned it off about 5 minutes because you went over to look.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, you did it. You picked a shitty area to come off on. Now I got to go figure out where we're gonna go. I got to
Yeah.
search demographics or whatever and go over and do that.
I think when you're on the road and you're traveling with somebody, you have to have really good communication. And sometimes the communication is tough because we're going into an area that we know nothing about.
It was very scary. It was
And-
incredibly scary
And
to
the
me.
thing is that I always, the area was not a good area.
It was a terrible area.
And it could have been, and I researched the demographics because that's just what I do. And we didn't research the area.
Well,
Was
I suggested that area, and I made a mistake. I knew when I pulled off in there, but luckily it turned out good. But
Yeah.
I tell you, if you are public and you are out there, you are at risk for some really, really horrendously scary encounters with people. You know, when Pat rolled up on us in outside of El Cajon, Flat Pat.
People think that they can just, they have this nonchalant attitude that well, just because we're YouTubers, they can just roll up on us, anytime.
Well, that's right, Mindy May. How can
And
I communicate to Marshall that this guy, okay, he's cool. Now he's turning his attention to Marshall. Am I supposed to jump out and say, hey, I figure the fact that he sees me, he left me and he's now moving towards Marshall should have triggered in Marshall's mind to diffuse the situation. Okay, it's all right. This guy must be cool because
now
me and my van would be a
there,
much better
there,
target.
there has to be communication, and with that such thing, there wasn't communication between me and Rosie, and that's the thing with this is that communication. Like yesterday, we were communicating to each other. What's going on over here? I like communication. I don't like surprises. I don't. I
I
don't.
didn't like Bully coming up on me.
I don't.
And as much as people will say that that was a setup, my handle
No.
a stack of Bibles, it was not a setup. It was the real deal.
And the one I was
And it
relieved
was
when
without a doubt the scariest thing that is ever.
Yeah.
I've been through earthquakes, and
And-
it is the scariest.
and the
thing that
relief
ever
when I was
happened
so
to me.
ecstatic to see him because I love IRC Bully. He's been watching me since 2014, basically. He looked at me. He's like, and he showed me his Glock. He's like, "Who do you know that has a Glock?" And I remember he made a video 3-4 years ago about a Glock, and I'm like, "Oh man!" So it completely blew my mind that, and then I knew right away it was him. And then I was,
Yeah, thank you,
and then
Mindy.
I was relieved. But I just think that it is what it is. People think just because we're YouTubers.
Well, I
that
will
they're
say
gonna come
this: if I was Marshall and we were reversed, as soon as I saw a guy lean down on the driver's side, I would have been over there like a rocket. Like, what is this guy doing? Who is this guy? Marshall's already got his in his head. It's a bad neighborhood. Okay, so what good could this be guy come up to? Beggars don't come up wearing a bandana over their noses and below their eyes. So
I've seen people with
was I
bandanas before.
disappointed? Yeah, but I think it took time for Marshall to process what was going on. Should I have warned him it was all okay? He didn't seem particularly upset when the guy started making his way.
I saw
towards
him having a conversation, asking you something. I didn't see a gun being pulled or a knife. I saw that you were talking to him.
Hey,
and he was
Midwestern
talking to
Mary,
you.
how you doing, sweetheart?
You were sitting in the van, and he was standing outside. And I was thinking to myself, I just assumed the first thing, this person is just asking for money.
Have
There's
you
no-
ever seen a person ask for money that has a bandana
Bandana.
over their face? The answer is no.
Oh.
I associate that with growing up in Baltimore when I would be on the street where liquor stores were being robbed, okay? Where
Yeah.
guys would come out with whatever, baklavas or whatever they wear or a
Yeah,
bandana.
the bandana worried me, and that reminded me of Antifa. We saw a lot of
Yeah,
Antifa, with
Antifa
the
and all that
bandanas.
shit.
And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, okay, yeah, it's,
I really thought at that moment, this is the end, man. I'm going to die today. And my thought was flashing, what's Marshall's response going to be when I go driving off with this guy? What is he going to do? And then my next thought, well, I'm going to have to be a jumper out of the vehicle if I can, even if we're on the highway
I
in
think what I would have
Milwaukee.
did was I would have followed you guys in my van, called
Thank you,
911.
Lolly.
I would have called 911 right away. That's all I could have
Yeah.
did was follow you and call 911 and alert the authorities.
It was a terrible, terrible situation. Yeah,
But,
Bergatron was great.
But I was just surprised how he found us. I don't know.
Well,
at
how many
what
people
point-
have followed us? Pat followed us off of the I-8 coming in. Bully said it was really easy to follow. You know, I knew you was going to pull off in one of several different areas on there.
Well, Border Nomad just found us walking.
Well, he
Yeah.
found you and
Yeah.
called you out, but
Yeah.
I'm saying we have to get used to the fact of life if we travel and when we travel that people are gonna come up
Come
and
out of the
snipe
woodwork,
the
yeah.
stream or come up and find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, didn't Marshall wonder why there was a person in my window? And thank you, Lolly. Most people aren't going to ask for money with a bandana over their face. So, yeah, he should know my license plate number.
Yeah.
We'll be better prepared next time. We'll be better prepared. But I would encourage anybody, if you want to meet on the road, that's the absolute worst thing to do is to come up in that Packing a side piece, obviously lifting up your T-shirt, your tactical
I
uniform to
think
show me. Now, Marshall, what do I derive at that point when this guy has um, a bandana on, and then he steps back about 6 inches and he lifts his shirt up so that I can see his handgun.
right,
What am I thinking in that situation? I'm going to die today
right.
was my thought on that.
I think one of the important things to have. I just want to add this. I just watched a breakup of
Yeah, Mary, I don't
uh,
blame you, honey.
roaming Earthship and simply RVing Lydia. For those of you who are from the RV community to watch, and she said she has some walkie-talkies. There's really poor communication between me and Rosie when we're on the road because she's live, I'm live, and there's
Well, I thought
communication
about buying
where we need
walkie-talkies
walkie-talkies to
going up through the
communicate.
Cajon Pass. I thought about that.
Right, we need walkie-talkies are a good thing for
I think we'll have to
communication.
buy
Yeah,
walkie-talkies. Yeah,
and also to know when to cut the stream off and all that.
it's a good idea.
But you need communication, so
That's a good
that's a
idea.
good thing to have on the road. But
I was actually thinking about that when we were going to go up through the Katoa Pass
up the mountain, yeah,
because
because there's no
I
cell
was
phone
worried
cuts
there
off,
wouldn't
yeah.
be any cell phone or anything
Yeah.
on there.
So
Um, I don't know. That's a situation I hope never arises again. But on the plus side, when Bully introduced themselves, we hung out for an hour and a half. He put money in our hand, bought dinner. Next day we were exhausted, chooching. It was hot in Milwaukee, and here comes this kid up with
with some Gatorade, that was pretty
Gatorade
cool.
for us. It was unbelievable, unbelievable. This guy was smooth as silk, IRC Bully, and I was glad to have him on the
Yeah,
glad to have him on the team. Nathan, it's okay here. It's going to be cold tonight. Cold is below 50 here. There we go. There we go, Katie. If I see you in person, which you will, Katie, yes, give us a hug. It has been an event-filled day here on YouTube the last 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down now and get on. I've got a big day tomorrow. The boss and Janet are coming. Fishing time is coming up. This should be interesting when the Elvis meets the boss and Janet for the first time. This should be a good fun tomorrow. I will be cooking on the channel tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning I will be making beef stew, and I'm going to go in and put some dough up tonight to make some bread. I want to thank you all for being on the stream tonight. Thank you for the wonderful support. And Marshall, any final words tonight? Good night, Joey, everybody.
my final thoughts is that it's been a good stream. It's been a positive stream for the most part.
Yeah, Mary, I'm sorry things turned out the way they did.
And a lot of you in here that I see in here.
Night, Patricia.
Some of you don't come to Elvis Travels, or maybe it's a different time frame. All I ask of you is that if you enjoy my content and my hangouts and my van build, all I ask you to do is please just to subscribe to my channel, Elvis Travels, and come and watch my hangouts with me and Rosie while we're live, and you can enjoy. I know you guys are all Rosie fans in here.
No, but I'm saying
But,
you've been. I will interject. You've been having very positive streams this summer.
I'm just
fall,
talking to
so
I'm just talking to all the Rosie fans.
good
in
night,
here.
spirits.
I noticed that
Denise.
a lot of you don't come to Elvis Travels, or I haven't seen you. You're welcome to Elvis Travels. You're welcome to come
Thank
hi
you, Wendy.
to say hi to Rosie, and to be part of the show, and subscribe to Elvis Travels. I know some of you are in here are not subscribed to Elvis Travels, or you don't watch my channel or whatever the deal is, and some of you do. But I'd like to see more of you come over. So if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe and just come over and say hi on the channel, live chat, say hello.
Yeah, I think his chats are positive, and if you're into want to know about van life, Class Bs, or you're just enjoying following the build, it's a nice thing to do. With that, thank you everybody, and good night. Yes, Janet will like Marshall very much. Will she stop trolling him? That's the question. All right, she's invested years into trolling Marshall.
One-liners.
One-liners.
She's told me